Smegums.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Lich's Archives. As usual, not a lot of things to say. We missed last week because I was a little bit under the weather, so my voice is a little strained, that's why. Same with Assie, she was going through the same thing. But besides that, I think everything is going a-okay. So, last we left off with a fantastic group of adventurers, Inflict heroics. They had resolved the big point of contention over in Pond, having dealt with Bola and stopping whatever plots he had. They made peace with Zap, who's a wizard that they were having a little bit of trouble with, a bit of a rocky relationship, but they managed to find some common ground, and he even invited them back to Fairy Tale, which is his magic shop. And that's what most of the last episode was. They did quite a bit of shopping, quite a bit of looking around and just trying to figure things out. The biggest things to point out is A-Rod got a new bowstring that seems to have some magical properties, including allowing him to just summon arrows made of force. They got their own magical tower, and they set a password to, and they had it custom made, giving them a couple of rooms. You know, maybe we'll touch on that if they end up using it, because what they decided to do after that is to head to Black Hollow, and they took a barge. The barge is captained by River Rick, who is we don't really know much about him. He seems like a decent enough guy. I believe I have a name for this thing. Apparently I haven't written down the name, or at least I haven't told you guys what that is yet. The only other point of contention that came through was a couple of sendings were sent. One of them was to Danny, who was one of the twins from closer to the start of the session, but it didn't go through. That could be for a number of reasons, but you guys are left to pretty much speculate as to why it is that none of these sendings are going through. And that's where we will be picking up today's session. Inflict heroics, you guys are on this barge. It is currently getting later in the day, and you guys were just starting now to settle down. On this barge, you have met the captain, as I've said before, is River Rick. He seems to be a human, a little bit older, but for the most part, he's just staying out of your way. Besides that, there are a couple of people on this. There's 4 people that work the poles. That sounds wrong. I take that back. There's a couple of people that are charged with guiding this thing down the river.
Nope, you said it.
You can never unsay it.
I can't. There's a dwarf,
the poles.
a Goliath.
I'm good at working the poles. Do they really know how to handle the shit?
So there's a dwarf, a Goliath, a human, and a half-elf. The half-elf is the only female. The other ones are all male. And they, for the most part, stick to themselves. This barge is not too big. It's big enough to fit you guys comfortably. The people manning the guidance system usually are at the back. And then there's a small office with a couple of bunks at the front of this barge. And that's the only real structure on this thing. Besides a net that's just kind of like stretched across. Well, I shouldn't say a net. More of a thin tarp to kind of like give you guys a little bit of shade. But for the most part, it is a very wide open space on this barge. Now, the last thing that happened is you guys rolled your events for the day and you guys were just going down for the night. So, help me out here. What are you guys doing for this night? Are you guys still keeping shifts? Are you guys just going to bed? I know, Shalasha, you were saying that you were planning on staying up and doing something. So why don't we start with you?
Since I don't require a whole lot of rest, I think for the most part I'm just going to keep an eye out. I'm going to sit on the deck and work with my lock, try and better myself with it, and just kind of keep an eye out.
Okay. Do me a favor, roll a d20 just for that. Because you've been doing this for quite a while. You are starting to get the ins and outs of picking locks.
17.
17. Alright, fantastic. A-Rod, Assie, what are you two spending to do for the night?
I want to pickpocket Assie I want a pickpocketer to get my flask back, and in its place, I'm going to put 250 gold pieces.
Oh,
Wow.
that is so sweet.
I'm gonna roll a sleight of hand, see how well this goes. Hey, natural 20, so 30.
Damn, so like my passive is a 10. You definitely got this shit. I trust you so well. Like, this is a game for us, I'm pretty sure at this point.
Oh, I gotta mark off my 250 gold.
Yeah. But you also get a vote. Alright, so Assie, you just sleeping then and just, you know, doing normal
okay.
growth things?
Well, I will be working on decorating this wooden flute I have, like putting like metal filigrees that I'm like delicately twisting and winding and twirling and turning into like curly cues in the shapes of leaves and feathers.
Okay.
And do I see Salashar fucking around with this lock?
That depends. Shalasha, do you think you're being particularly, you know, cagey about the fact that you're just here trying to learn this skill? Or you just,
No.
you know, another day at the office, just gotta get it done?
I don't think so. I am practicing with without a lockpick, so I think I would still be very off to the side, away from everyone. So you kind of have to go out of your way
In
to
that
see
case,
me. But
well, roll a perception for me then, Assie.
Okay. I don't think I would be needing my dice this quickly.
Yeah, me either. Which is currently why I'm pulling out my dice, because no one reminded me. And the one time that they didn't, I forgot.
I was thinking about reminding you, but I trusted you.
Ooh! 19.
19? Yeah, you would notice with that.
Yeah, I take a moment and I actually look around. So I'm gonna say, like, as soon as the sun started setting, I went.
So
and
I
turned
will
into my
say, like,
pants.
what you're aware of is he's been at this for a while. So you know
Yeah.
that he's intently been, you know, plying to a task. You might not know exactly what he's doing, but you're just aware, like, you know, he has a box that he's been fidgeting with for at least an hour or two.
Yeah. So, would you still be fucking around with this at 4 a.m., do you think?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't require sleep.
Yeah, so, like, I go, I have my trance, and then I wake back up at, like, 4 a.m.-ish, maybe even 3 a.m., depending on how early I went into my trance. And I find Salashar fucking around with the box, so I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna plop down next to him, and I'm like, gonna look up. So, what you doing there, buddy?
Working. Can I help you with something?
I'm just curious as to what you're up to. Like, what are you working on with it? Did you lose your key?
Practicing. You
Practicing
never know
what?
when one of your rogues just up and dies, and I'll turn to look at you.
There are 2 of us, and 2 healers. I should hope you guys can keep me alive.
I don't know.
But you know, you should really be using. I'm gonna flick my wrist, and I'm gonna pull out one of my lockpicks. Because when we started the game, I picked 4 of them in case I break one, because I was pretty sure that was gonna happen at some point. And I'm gonna hold out a lockpick to you.
I have no idea how to use that.
It's for you.
I'll take my bony finger and I'll just wind it into the locking mechanism and pop it open.
Okay, well what about this? And I'd like to try to, like, sleight of hand pull the set of manacles out of my pocket space and slap one of them and lock it on his wrist real quick.
You guys can make opposed dex checks.
Sure. 16
And
on
this
the
is
die.
sleight of hand for me, yeah?
It'll just be a straight dex check, we'll say. Because this is kind of like, you know, an attack thing, right? You're not exactly being
Let's
very
talk.
stealthy with it.
Okay, 16.
16.
I got 16 on the die.
So I'll
That's
say
all I
like you like close it on him, but he doesn't have his glove on, so he just like pulls his bony ass hand through the manacle, like
I was gonna dislocate my wrist and just pop it off.
like
Anyways.
it just whoop.
Come on, let me help you. Let me show you how to do this.
I mean, I don't really need a hand. The point is to become self-sufficient. I appreciate it, but kind of
Dude,
not what I'm going for.
just take the lockpick. When you're done fucking around with the same box every while, all the time, use these, okay? I'm trying to help you.
And I appreciate it, but the point is to learn. I don't need...
Yeah, and I'm giving you tools to learn. When I learned,
gonna
I
take
had
the tool
Retina teach me.
The point is, what if someone takes the tool away? They can't take away my fingers.
Yeah, but you still get a sense of how locks work better with it.
I disagree. It's the same premise. You're
And
still...
you're not going to be able to pick really complex locks with that.
So you're saying I can't apply counter tension on the cylinder and still pick away at the heads?
No,
And I
you're
have a
dealing
better
with a
feel
really
for the
small lock.
vibration. All that is doing is giving me the tool that my fingers are. I
It's
appreciate
also
it.
giving you all of these other tools, and I'm going to show you like all of the little lock picking little metal bits that your fingers are much bigger than. Like,
Well, if you want to rake it, if you want to...
As you guys are
How about-
having this conversation, someone like kind of like loudly clears their throat, and they're just like trying to sleep.
Look, AC, appreciate it. Don't need it.
I'm fine, whatever. I'll put my shit away, and I'm gonna go and like sit down like directly on top of A-Rod. I'm just gonna start mumbling to him. I'm not gonna say much. I just go and I sit down on top of you.
Okay, guilty.
What is that?
At 4 in the morning.
And I
Probably
take a
closer
swig.
to like 3:45.
I'm gonna take a swig of my flask first thing. What is it?
Phone Daddy's just a bit of a butt.
You want me to braid your beard? That always makes you feel better.
I always do, but you're still tired. Why don't you get back into your trance?
Thank you.
I'm just gonna snuggle up against you.
Yeah, that's okay. I like that. I like a little snuggle buddy. Come here, you. Then I'll go back into my trance.
Alright. Cole, how are you spending the night?
I just went to sleep.
Alright.
Curled up like I usually do. Some point in the night, tried to suck on the tip of my tail, and in my sleep realized I was sucking on metal and spit that back out.
Alright, during the night, at some point, you feel like you start to, like, fall into that dream, right? The same cave, but in this dream, all that happens instead, like, you look down, Hertha's on you, and she just kind of, like, puts out this blinding light that just kind of, like, flashes it away, and you just sleep completely fine. Whatever was going to happen tonight, it was fended off by your new friend. And you are able to get the effects of a long rest without having to roll for it.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay!
Lucky.
Alright. Who would be awake at about 9 a.m.? All of you. Okay. Just check.
9 a.m. is pretty late in the morning. Like, you should be actually
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that word because apparently I can't today.
The English language has decided not today. Alright, one thing that does end up coming down the river, one of the Shalasha and A-Rod, you two would notice it. There's a figure who's like face down in the water, who's just kind of like floating up. And as he's like passing the barge, one of the guys with the poles, Yuri the dwarf actually is on that side, and he like pulls the body on, and they're like dredging this guy out of the water.
When I notice, I'm gonna go help.
Yep. I'll gather around with them and take a look at the body.
Alright,
Is he like definitely
you
dead?
guys can make perception or medicine checks if you would like.
I'm not gonna bother with either of those. Can I give advantage to Salashal?
Yes, you can aid. And just tell me what you're rolling.
Perception.
Perception.
33.
33. That's a pretty good roll. You're able to notice a couple of things from this fellow. The main thing is he is very, very pale, and his skin is like, as like pulling it up, it's kind of like ripping in places. He's been in the water for a while. The rest of you can all smell something except for Shalasha, and it definitely is like a little bit of that sweet smell, like something starting to rot.
So he's definitely undergoing bloat.
Yes, and his clothes, were leather, but it looks like they've been like, he's been in this for quite a while. It's like started to rip in some places. The leather itself has started to like deform, and it's almost like
Got some algae growing on it.
I wouldn't go quite that far, but like, you know, like the texture of an oil skin instead of like a leather like pants, right? Everything is like very, very smoothed out at this point. Everything is very saturated, completely saturated. As they like flop this guy over, a couple of other things become immediately apparent to you. One is it looks like his throat was slashed at some point, and it looks like that's also probably what killed him before he was dumped into the water. And the last thing is he has a something taped over his mouth. It looks like he's been gagged, and it's like a very thick rope that's been like pulled and like tied and a knot in the front. And also, with that perception, you can also see what seems to be the tail of a rat sticking out from like the side of his mouth past the gag.
I'm gonna like reach inside the throat and like up and try to pull out whatever is in his mouth from the throat hole.
You're going to need to undo the knot.
I can't just like reach in like where he was slashed.
Oh, like
across.
that?
Yeah.
It'll be gross, but you definitely could.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it. Like he's got his throat slashed. He's got I'm just gonna reach in through there and like pull it out through there.
Would I recognize this as like some sort of gang or anyone specific, like their signature move?
Yes. These are the fucking rat guys.
As you're thinking about this, Yuri the dwarf like pulled this guy, and he kind of like, you know, turns a little green as you're doing this, and he like says something in dwarvish, and he like moves away from you. He says that's disgusting. He's like, what?
I'll put my hand on his back and cast guidance.
You're gonna guide him to not puke? Nice. What you pull out is also a very bloated rat that looks like it's also been drowned at this point. A-Rod, that also will tell you, like, pulling this rat out, this is definitely the MO of the Rats gang. The people that have been targeting people from Sigwolf.
Yep.
Looking at this fellow, he had black hair, looked like it was decently long, you know, but at this point it's all just kind of like matted to one side. There's like twigs and sticks in it. Doesn't look like he had the best time, as well as it looks like at some point his face was bruised, but a bunch of like that modeling has like started to fade or been moved away. He's been gone for a while, and now you are holding a very large, soggy dead rat as well. At this point, the captain's going to come out, and he just kind of like takes a look at all of this, takes a look at you guys, sees that you guys are kind of like gathered around the body, and he's like,
holding on to it.
Maybe we just put him back in.
I mean, there isn't much we can do for him.
Rat gang know that much.
Can I tell where, where he would be from?
Make an investigation.
See, I know I took notes about this rat gang because I even thought it was important enough way back at the very start of the session to make stamps of like X's with eyes and a rat's tail hanging out of somebody's mouth because like dead people, right? So I thought it was important enough to make a stamp of it to put in my notes. But I can't find my notes about the gang.
It's a 14
A
for
14.
investigation.
Alright, so you kind of, you know, as he like pulls this thing out, the captain was able to throw this out. You kind of like go to the body and you pass through it as best as you can, just searching for a couple of things. He has most of his belongings on him. Like he has boots on him, he has pants, he has a shirt. Looks like he's been punched in the face a couple of times, but his belt is empty. He doesn't have anything on him. Also, looking at it, this will also kind of go into your perception. We're going to add that as well. It looks like his wrists as well are very, very abused. It looks like he's been kept someplace for a while. So you're not really able to tell where he came from, but you're able to tell that in his last bit, before whatever this was, he was kept someplace before he was discarded. If you were to guess, though, he probably came from someplace farther down this river.
But presumably he is from Char.
Presumably, you know, but he doesn't have anything that really identifies him as that. Other than, you know, he is a human. Again, Char is mostly elves, orcs, and dwarves. Any humans at some point have come from Sigwolf. Yes, Assy, you had a question.
I want to like try and see if there's anything on him that looks like it might be magical.
How would you like to do that? Just an investigation?
Probably
Cast
not
anything?
an arcane investigation.
An arcane.
Yeah, I want to roll arcane, but mostly like investigating these things, seeing if anything might be vaguely magic. Ooh, 18 plus 4. 4? Yeah. So what's 18 plus 4? 22, I think.
22.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah, that sounds right.
So you don't find anything magical on him, but with that and looking over like some of his injuries, as well as someone that has been injured, when healing spells are used, they're very good at getting rid of the worst of the damage. Same with like the thing on his face, the bruising that has started to model. It could mean like at some point his eye socket was actually fractured and it's been healed. You know, the bruising has this weird thing where it is coming to the surface and it's not deep. So maybe he was even healed at some point before he died.
Hey, Salashar, look at this. I'm gonna start like poking around in his eye. Like, the bruising is the sort of stuff that you get when you fracture and like actually like shatter the like bone here, right?
Can I roll a medicine check?
It's fine.
A medicine check? Sure.
Yeah.
It looks like the sort of bruising you have after like a healer heals like the most of it, you know?
So they torture him, patch him up for round 2?
That's an 18.
I mean, maybe.
18. As she's describing this, you kind of like, you start to palpate around it. And you can feel like pretty much exactly what she's describing. There's like a very thick layer of bone where like extra bone has been added. Extra bone has formed to close these wounds, right? It's a physical deformation caused from healing magic. You know, when you use magic as a shortcut, you can. But it doesn't mean it's going to come out completely natural. And that's exactly what you're feeling here. This very thick segment of bone, and then it kind of tapers off on one end. You feel it more again. It gets a lot thicker in some spots.
So it was very rushed, just to get rid of the body, basically.
Well, you know he was healed at some point before he was killed. So maybe it was a fight, maybe it was something else. But it's just, you know, something you can tell when someone uses healing magic. things happen quickly doesn't exactly mean it's going to be 100% flawless.
I think he might have been tortured or something. Is there anything like on his body that could give us some idea of his identity?
Nope. All of that, Shalashar has already looked for it. It's been stripped. You've seen him look.
Not even
look away.
tattoos or distinguishing markings?
Nope. Well, let me double check something about this character.
Like, I'm at this point I'm looking for...
Like, you want to get, like, deep into it, eh?
Yeah, I want things that will tell me who this guy might have been.
Alright. If you were to take the time and, like, even... roll an investigation as well. Let's do it that way. One more investigation.
Oh, shit. 18 plus 4 again. 22.
22. That's a little bit higher than Shalashar got. So as Shalashar was being a bit more respectful, just kind of like pulling up the sleeves, you actually, like, you start unbuttoning this guy's shirt. Like, you're getting as in there as you can. And you'll find, like, on his arm, he actually has, like, the crossed O's of, the oarsmen.
Okay, 1 second.
As well as he has another symbol as well that will... You won't know what it means, but he also has what seems to be a very simple depiction of a spark coming off of a torch. Well, not a torch, but a little flame. So he has 2 tattoos.
Can I try to roll anything to figure out what that might be?
I can make a history.
Yeah. I think I'm trained in history too.
It will be with disadvantage though.
Okay.
Was the captain human? Wait, which of the members of the ship were human?
There's 2 humans. The captain and then one of the oarsmen. Pullman. What did you get for your history check?
A 7.
A 7?
Lucky number 7.
The only thing you would know from that is the O's would mean that he's part of Darius Oarsman, who is one of the council members. You only know that because he's been mentioned and you've seen that symbol before. As for the other thing, the flame with a very loud spout coming off of it, no idea what that means.
Where is it?
It's on his arm. Like shoulder bicep area.
Okay. Both of them?
The flame one is lower. The O's are like directly on his bicep. Like if you would have the muscle here, it's like directly underneath. Like it's a very nice frame, actually. You know, this guy was physically fit. From what you can tell, most of him has bloated at this point, and the skin does not look as good as it used to, but he did have a nice figure in life.
Captain, do you mind if we pull over? If we bank the ship here? He deserves some sort of Sigwolfian funeral.
I mean, I would rather not.
Don't they burn their dead?
We'd still have to arrange for something.
I mean, the flame does, but like, I just want to get to where we're going. I don't really want to stop, and then...
We could do it at Black Hollow.
Exactly. Why don't we just, you know, if you want to, you can just take him there. But I don't really want to stop here, okay?
Of course. I'll,
Mr. Cleric, though, can't you, like, preserve bodies?
That's what I was about to do.
Yeah.
I'll, reach down, and I'll let a wave of magic emanate from my hand. It'll encase him in, like, this, the shiny chrysalis that it kind of envelops his skin and makes it, shiny.
Alright, and the smell does lessen for all of you. Besides Shalashar.
Good call.
What spell did you use for that? Just gentle repose? That's a cool way of doing it, though. I like it. I think it was cool.
It's a good use for the spell.
Okay, tell you what, I'll get a cloth, and how about we just wrap this gentleman up as well, and we just, you know, set him off someplace.
Yeah, we should take him to the Oarsman.
Know where to find him?
So I have a question for you, DM. Like, the crossed oars on his arm.
Yes.
Is the paddle part at the top or the bottom?
They'd be at the bottom.
Okay. Any other, like, features on it?
Let me double check. Sorry, my
I wanna-
face is going to glow brightly while I read this.
I want to give myself just, like, a little sketch of it, you know? That's what I'm asking.
Nah, it's
think-
just 2 crossed oars. Yeah. Nothing.
I think if we're going to return the body, we should probably contact Matthias's network and see what we can do with it. If we can send the body, if there's anything they prefer.
Well, I think, like, when we get into town, we should ask about Darius Oarsman. That's what this tattoo means. I'm gonna, like, tap him on the upper arm where the tattoo is. And you also mentioned a spark and a flame?
Yes.
So it's a spark and then, like, a fire. Is there any, like, source of underneath the fire? Is it, like, a
Nope,
campfire looking? Or
just a
just
fire.
a flame and then a spark on top?
Just a fire with a little smoke.
Okay.
But the spug definitely seems like it is the more important part of the flame. Not in size or anything, but just, you know, it's just one of those elements that you're like, this was clearly done on purpose. I'm not the best at describing tattoos, and I apologize, but, you know, power of imagination and all of that, I have faith in you. As you guys are doing this, the Goliath is going to come over, and it looks like he has a very large tarp, and he's just going to... Do you mind if I just... Can we...
I'll
Yeah, no.
take a step back.
I'll help hide him.
He's going to...
Stop making people so uncomfortable by rummaging in a body.
Cool. So the Goliath is going to apply to the task of wrapping his body up.
Would you see something like a bit like that?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just so I have an idea for me.
Alright.
I think we just press on. Sorry for the interruption, Captain.
No, I mean... As long as this doesn't reflect poorly, you know, it's not every day. I get it. It's a little weird. I think we all just stay calm. The rest of the day will go smoothly, right?
I roll an insight on him.
Yeah.
Drinks are on me. We get Black Hollow.
Okay.
As you're doing that, I need 2 other people to roll a d20 each for the day's events.
I got one.
22.
Yeah, I don't have a D22. Is that a problem?
Yeah, you get yourself one.
Yeah, you need one of those.
Hey, Rod, do you want to roll another one? You haven't rolled yet.
He just seems very uncomfortable, and like this is just not something he wants to deal with, and he just wants to put it out of sight, out of mind. He's very uncomfortable.
Can I tell if it is specific to the body, or if it's like a culmination of everything?
With your passive perception and everything else, and with that roll, the most you've been able to gather about this guy, River Rick, is he's been doing everything in his power to stay out of you guys' way. And usually when he's not by you, he has a fishing pole in hand, and he's just trying to pass his day fishing and being a captain. But he seems more invested in catching a fish and sticking to himself than anything else. So he's more uncomfortable because of the body and like this coming up, you know, but he hasn't been a very personal person.
I'm gonna like stand like right up by A-Rod. I'm gonna be like facing him. I'm gonna hold like casual conversation about how like, yeah, like look at this. I just my fingers are so sore after doing all that metal work yesterday, and it's just casual fucking bullshit. But at the same time, I'm using my hands to like thieves' cant to him. We need to go to the sacred flame I'm pretty sure that tattoo is one of theirs. I mean, like, Fire, Darius, Osman, he's one of the humans here, you know?
Agreed. So we'll check it out when we get to Black Hollow.
What did you guys get for your events?
I got a 3-2.
A 3 and a 3. Fantastic. I love that.
Double threes.
We
Can I
done.
make it happen twice, or is it just really intense when it does happen?
I'll figure it out. How else would you guys like to be spending your time on this barge? Just trying to like get through the day for the most part?
Yeah, just I'm messing with my bowstring now that I can just create arrows. I'm like shooting them off to the side.
Just having fun with it?
Yeah.
Alright.
This thing is sweet.
I
I'm
have
gonna
got a sapphire in my pocket that I've had since the beginning that I haven't used yet. I'm gonna try working on turning it into like a pendant of some sort. Using like my crafting skills.
Alright, you can roll a d20 and add your proficiency to that.
Ooh! Ooh, 18 plus, what is my proficiency again? 4? 3. So 21.
21. You got it. You are able to make a pendant with that. And, you know, as long as you have the materials present for it.
Yeah.
Alright. Cole, Shalashar, anything I should know, or are you guys just along for the ride?
I'm
No, I'll
going
just-
to continue practicing with my tail spike.
I'm just gonna keep fairly close to the body and make sure it's kind of like out of everyone's way. And then I'll just reapply my magic as need be.
Alright. So this is going to go for most of the day. You know, you guys pretty much just kick back, relax, have a decent time. But off in the distance, you know, it's now getting later at night. We're getting closer to dusk at this point. You know, it's been a very calm sort of thing. You guys are now getting farther down the river and you're getting into the Blackwoods. The Blackwoods is the large forest that is around Black Hollow, right? The other cities around here, you have like Black Garden, stuff like that, right? All of the human cities have that connotation with it. So the river is starting to get a bit more shady at this point, right? And like I said, it is getting dusk, but Shalashar and Arod, you guys notice that farther down, probably another 4 hours or so, you know, like it's a clear as river. You guys can see for quite a ways with your perceptions. There is a very large trunk that is like blocking the river.
Does it look... I mean, I guess I can't necessarily see it from here, but does it look like it's just happenstance, or is it kind of intentionally placed?
You would be unsure unless you want to get closer. Oh, you know, what would you like to do to try to get this information?
How far away is it? You said it's down the river still, right?
Yes, the barge is a little slow. One second, I'm being called. Sorry, someone needs to boost the vehicle. So I'm just handing my keys off. I'll be right back.
You Canadians and your cold.
We got 18 inches of...
Sorry about that. Canadian winters.
20
You gotta
inches of
love them.
snow.
Alright, so.
I want to get 18 inches.
So, the...
52 installments.
Christ. Kids, I'm wrangling this back. So, the river is faster, not because the barge is quick, but just because it is a very direct path.
Yep.
So if you guys wanted, you could always get on land, move ahead of it, and investigate if you want to do that way. You could wait till you get closer. But, you know, it is a long way off. It's just because of your godlike eyes, you can see something's blocking the river.
Do you let me know about this at all?
If you're listening, I'm just gonna go talk to the captain about it.
I mean, like, I'm hanging around. I'm just working on some jewel crafting shit off to the side, like, fucking around with metal and wires. I'm just asking because if you tell me, then I have a plan. But if you don't tell me, then I don't have a plan.
I go talk to the captain.
You'd be able to hear the conversation with your passive perception. Yeah, you'll find him. He's just like, again, at the back of the boat, just has his line in the water. Having a good time. You know, it's getting late, so he's kind of like set up a little stool. And the other two are just kind of, you know, hanging out with him. It's the half-elf and one of the humans manning it.
Captain, sorry to interrupt.
Huh? What?
There seems to be a log in the middle of the river. It's a ways down. So, with your permission, I'd like to go ahead and deal with it.
Actually, I might be able to deal with it from here. How much time do we have to really hit it?
The captain just like looks over and he like pulls his line out of the water and he's gonna start walking to the front of the boat. He's like, I don't see nothing. I have no idea. If you say so, I'll take your word for it, and if you can fix it, that would be great. If not, then when we get there, we'll just kind of, you know, moor ourselves up, and we'll see what we can do. But if you got something, then by all means. But I can't even see it, and he's like squinting off into the distance.
So there's a log falling across the river up front?
Yeah.
How long do you think we have till we hit it?
At this rate, DM, would you say like hour, 2 hours?
Like 4 hours.
Okay, I've got a plan, but like...
Like I
If
said,
I
like
just-
you guys have insanely good vision.
If I do this, I can't do this anymore until we get to town. So I'm kind of hooped with a beaver.
I'm gonna take that back. It's probably 2 hours away. Thinking it over in my head, it's 2 hours away.
Then let me deal with it. I can deal with it and not expend anything.
Yeah, but I can deal with it without putting any of us at risk. It's just 10 minutes, and she'll just be a beaver until we get into town. Which actually might be better out on the river anyways.
I mean, you will, I suppose.
I'm just thinking, like, this way you don't have to get off of the river and put yourself at risk.
I mean, it doesn't bother me any.
Yeah, but it bothers me, your bone daddy.
That means something here. Bone Daddy.
So I'm gonna start the ritual to turn my familiar into a beaver. Yeah, because when I have a beaver, she can just chew through the center of the log.
I mean,
Yeah.
Canadian.
So I take 10 minutes, I turn Epidot into a beaver, and then I throw my beaver in the river.
be free.
Actually, I'm gonna go over to Salashar. I'm gonna have like the arm full of like wicked beaver. You just give her a hand, throw her down the river a little bit.
I mean,
Put your hands
yeah,
on
I
her.
suppose I can try.
Throw my beaver in the river.
Fuck it. I'll pick her up and athletics.
Yes.
That's a 15.
Pretty good. You pick this beaver up and you huck it pretty far, you know. Not unlike a cable toss. There's a splash off in the distance.
Splat.
I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna go over, hold Arod's hands, close my eyes, and when I open them up, they're like solid white, which is like little shimmery bits of green in them. And I'm looking through my beaver's eyes.
It always freaks me out when you do this.
Alright. You can make a perception with the beaver if you would like.
I need to look up what the fuck beaver stats in D&D are.
We'll probably just say it's like a +1 to perception. Because, you know, I'm guessing you probably have a swim speed and stuff like that, so... I'm willing to just make this up as we go. So go ahead and roll a d20, add 1.
Yeah, actually, according to, like, this D&D thing that I just looked up, oh, it's giant beaver. And they have given a +3 to its perception for some reason.
Yeah, so a +1's fine, probably.
Yeah. So 17.
17. Alright. It's gonna take you a little bit to get down there. So we're gonna say you guys are probably, you know, close to about, we'll say half an hour away from this thing. And now everyone can kind of clearly see the log on the horizon instead of just A-Rod and Shelishar. Your beaver itself, this is a very large tree. Doesn't seem to be deadfall. You know, this thing seems like it was knocked over somehow, and it wasn't by a natural cause. But, you know, as for it blocking the river, could be anyone's guess. One of the sides is badly splintered.
Yeah.
And this is like a pine tree. Just so you guys
I did manage to find a 1/8 challenge rating beaver.
Mm-hmm.
They give it keen hearing, holding breath, and like the most important thing that I see here is powerful build and woodcutter. Its bite deals double damage to creatures, structures, and objects made of wood.
What's its swim speed?
They only give it 25 on here, which seems wrong considering I've seen beavers and they are really fast.
I mean, 25 is pretty fast in water.
The 25 is really fast for water.
It still seems little for like an actual beaver.
Yeah.
I mean, you're also comparing it to D&D stats.
Yeah. But like, he's also going with the current too.
Alright, so he's gonna be chewing on this thing when you guys arrive, you know? It's gonna take him a little bit to get through this thing. This is a very large pine tree.
Can I cast Fairy Fire through my beaver? Because that makes it like you're better to hit it.
Yeah, if you want, you can light up this tree.
Yeah.
Alright,
Would that like help him like chew through it faster? Make him more likely to get a critical hit on a tree?
Alright. So we'll say he's roll a percentage for me.
A percentage, okay.
Yes, roll a percentage for me.
Which looks like a good percentage for beaver. Yeah, I mean, one of each of these. That works. Okay, what was that one? 74.
74? Well, that's about as far through the tree as he is when everyone kind of, you know, pulls up with this. Tree's glowing decently. Anyone else want to do anything to help this along? Oh, you guys?
I'll hop onto the log and start working on the other side.
Yeah. And
with my axe.
Oh yes, you do have an axe. So you start chopping away at that. Shulsha, A-Rod?
As we were coming down the river, I would have ritual cast Water Walk on myself and Kurt.
Okay.
I can, since my bolts now deal force damage, I could just start wailing into it infinitely
Just
with my arrows.
Tree. Alright. Fair enough. Bit of an odd scene as all of you guys get to work chopping up this tree. But soon enough, you know, you guys do manage to get through this. You guys maybe lose an hour of travel. Not too much. As you guys move on, and you guys get to have another long rest. I'm assuming the night is going to be the same.
I want my beaver to thoroughly investigate both ends of the tree.
Okay.
It is roughly made of wood.
After we get past, I want to thoroughly investigate it. This one gives it a +4 perception.
Okay, make a perception.
I want to figure out want to figure out what this is. 19.
19. Close to the top of the tree, there's a section where there's a bunch of broken branches.
Can I tell with how they were broken at all? Like what?
Nope, you just can tell close to the top of the tree, there's a bunch of broken branches. Something at some point broke a bunch of branches on the top quarter of this tree.
Okay. What made it fall?
It looks like the stump was broken at the other end.
Can I see where the stump that this came from is?
From where you are? No.
I'm gonna go to where the end of the tree is, and I'm gonna start walking around and looking from there.
Alright, make a survival check.
Okay. 15.
15. There's some drag marks on the ground. Roughly tree width.
Are there any footsteps nearby those?
A couple.
Can I tell what type they are?
With that survival, no can do, buddy. Some some roughly your size, some bigger than your size.
So as I'm doing this, I'm still holding Avon's hand, and I'm like, so the tree was dragged to the river.
Great, that's just what we need. I'll take a swig of my flask.
There's footsteps. I'm gonna press a beaver paw down next to it. How big are one of the larger footsteps compared to a beaver, and how big are one of the smaller footsteps?
The biggest?
Yeah.
The biggest would be 3 beavers long.
Okay. 3 whole beavers?
Yes.
Good unit of measurement.
I love that
How big a beaver is?
Yes, I am well aware of how big a beaver is.
I'm just a little. What if these? There are footsteps here 3 times the size of beaver me.
Taking another swig from the flask. Damn it.
I'm not drunk enough for beaver math.
Shine
See how
running
this is
around
These are
the
some pretty big footsteps. Something big dragged it into the river, and there are a couple of other smaller ones as well. How big is the smallest step?
You would put them at roughly Shalashai's size. The size of his feet, not the size of Shalashai himself.
So the smallest footsteps are Salashar size. Whatever brought the tree there, dragging it out there, it's big.
AC, can I interrupt you for just a second? There's big footprints. We are currently dawdling. We should be moving.
No, the barge has moved on, right? It's just, she's talking through herself while the beaver's on land. But you guys are, back to just drifting away. You guys have broken through at this point. You've taken a little bit of time, and that's why you've lost about an hour of travel time.
With
Also,
how big the footprints are,
I can't hear you.
correct.
Yeah.
But you guys are moving. Maybe not quickly. You're having a nice drift down the river.
I can feel it if you touch me. So I'm pretty sure Aelon and I have determined one touch, this many taps.
I'll give her, I'll give her the taps to return.
Come back. Like Morse code with tapping.
Okay.
Really simple. So did you tell me to come back then?
Yeah, I'll give you the taps to come back.
So oh
I
man.
think
I left Dottie there for now. I was gonna investigate the top of the tree a little more. Should I bother or should I just poof her back here?
I don't think there's a point. With how big you say it is, if it wanted to catch up to us, it would have no problem.
Don't worry about
We're currently sitting a little... I think it's best if we put our energy into either paddling this raft faster or just staying on guard. Investigating what could be, what has been, I don't think it's I don't
I
think it's
agree
a
with
useful point of our
Talishar.
time.
We need to be more on guard tonight.
Because it could be that someone used that as a bridge. It could be that it was supposed to be a trap by a bandit. I can't say for certain. All I know is it seemed out of place.
Well, all I can say is that like it was definitely dragged there by something big.
We'll keep our eyes out.
Alright.
On the raft, on like the sleeping quarters, is there? It's roofed off, correct?
Yes.
Is there anything up there? Like, does it look like it could support my weight?
Not really. Like, there is a staircase that goes up, but the staircase pretty much goes up and then it's like immediately blocked off. So like you can go up there to like look over the structure, but you can't stand on the structure.
Okay. When I rest for the night, like when we take it slow, I kind of want to sit at the top of the stairs as high up as I can be, just to get the best view of the area.
Alright. Anyone else doing anything this night I should be aware of?
If
Cuddle
Dottie
up
was
and
like
passing.
swimming, could she like keep pace with the ship? Like,
Yeah,
Swimming
she's
with the
very
Philip
slightly
Condit?
faster than it.
she's slightly faster.
Yeah, very slightly faster.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have Dottie like you know how Thor runs when you're like on a walk with him and he like does that patrol like in front of you?
You're gonna have her kind of doing that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Dottie's on front patrol, and I'm gonna take a trance opposite of A-Rod.
I'm gonna cuddle up with Assy.
We'll cuddle while one of us is trancing.
Yeah, we'll switch off.
Yep.
Alright.
And this way, while I'm looking through my familiar's eyes on my watch, it's still
Cool.
good.
Anything I should know?
Hey, Hertha, got a question for you.
She doesn't say anything, but you definitely like feel like a warmth against your chest. You have her attention.
I'm actually just curious about something. Are you the necklace, or were you put into this necklace?
I'm the stone. If you remember, it is just a very large stone on a necklace.
Okay, so I was just wondering if you like her had like an actual body that's like not the stone.
No. I'm as tangible as I need to be.
Oh,
I exist to make people do great things.
Oh, that sucks. You're actually kind of missing out on some neat stuff, like food. There's some really good food out there. And baths. Baths are awesome.
I don't
I
worry
told you about
such
those.
things.
What?
Took you to a bathhouse. First time
Yeah.
we met.
Yep.
Told me you had never been to one.
Well, not a bathhouse, no, but
You gotta admit, it's better than just bathing in a river.
yeah. I mean, not as much room, but the warmth.
Oh, it
is
just
up
depends
there.
on the bathhouse. Like, there was this one I went to. It was super expensive, but it was like a big one. It was just a big open area of water.
Hmm.
And like a couple of little heated pools too. The Sacred Flame really knows how to make a bathhouse.
Interesting. Might have to hit up one of those someday at some point.
I'm saying this to you while I'm like in A-Rod's lap. Periodically switching between looking through my familiar's eyes and my own. paint a picture for you guys.
Alright. Anything else you guys would like to make me aware of before we continue through the night?
No, I don't think so.
A
Alright.
great Erod's hair.
Well, he's
Much
like-
appreciated.
He's like a bunch of little braids.
When I wake up, I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have. Look at this. Beautiful. Swish my hair.
What can I say? I know what you like.
That you do. That you do.
I like to spoil my man.
Beautiful. Simply beautiful. You have a beard braiding coming.
I also like hid in his back pocket a drawing of a phallus in a top hat.
Love
But
it.
I've hidden it in a pocket I know he doesn't use very often, so it'll be there for a while.
Very quickly, at some point during the night, Shalashar,
Mhm.
can you make a wisdom save, or you could let it in? It is it feels like Hothas trying to like reach out to you.
It feels familiar.
Yep.
I'll allow it.
Okay. So you just hear her voice in your head as she like connects with you, and she just has a very simple question, which is, how far have you traveled?
Long ways.
Just feel like there's pressure in your head, like she's prompting you to say more.
In terms, I've traveled across 2 continents, but I've been on the road a long time. And I'll give her like the briefest flip of the book that is my memory. Countless days on the road, the sun beating down, me and my physical
When
body.
you do this, you do feel her trying to read your thoughts. Do you let her?
I trust her for now, so yeah.
Okay. And then she does kind of like just quickly flip through your memories a little bit with you. And then she just says, thank you. And you just feel her like recede. And besides that, the rest of the night starts to just pass through, same as the other one. The 4 pole people. I need to find a better word for these people. I know, but they seem a little bit more on edge. But everyone is just kind of like doing their best. They've all kind of roughly heard what you guys were saying before about, you know, something moving the tree and all of that. So tensions are just getting high on this raft. Nothing's quite boiled over yet, but like it definitely, you know, the night, unlike the last one, which was very peaceful and just kind of relaxed, and like, you know, the only really sounds you guys heard before was just the sound of like Rick when he would like take his watch, the plop of his line going into the water throughout the night. You actually hear like a couple more like whispered conversations and stuff like that, you know. Tones are getting a little bit harsher. But if you guys don't care about that, then we can keep moving on to the next morning. Sound good?
I will be listening for anything that kind of arises.
Alright. Quick perception check for me then.
29.
29. So, of the 4, the dwarf seems to, you know, he says the least, and whenever anyone tries to like talk with him, he just kind of like hushes them and just like, keep to your job. Besides that, the female elf, you get her name is, if you want their names, Yuri is the dwarf, Beth is the half-elf, Mao is the Goliath, and Christopher is the human. Christopher and Beth seem like they're talking the most, and it sounds like Christopher is getting a little like worried about Beth, and he's like constantly worrying about it, but she's just kind of like brushing him off and be like, it's fine, you know. Mao's here. Mao's big. I'm sure these other people are, like, just as capable.
Cool.
And that's just kind of, you know, the general thing. Yuri just seems, you know, a little over it. Beth definitely seems like she's involved in the most, but Christopher is definitely, like, the main guy kind of, like, agitating everything. Besides that, you know, dawn does come. Nice. Early. Sun coming up. Everything's looking good. And you guys are back to a beautiful day. I just need one event rolled today.
I'll roll it.
Is that because regardless of outcome into Cataclysmic?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I don't want to be responsible.
19.
19.
Well, then I'm scared.
No, that's good. That's fantastic.
He's saying it's good. That means it's terrible.
No, it means, you know, the sun is nice and
I'm
high.
going to die.
And you guys actually get all the way to noon before Shalashar. You hear a voice in your head. It's a familiar voice, one that you haven't heard since the last time it threatened you. It is the druid.
I'm immediately gonna pull out my monocle, and I'm gonna call AC.
Yeah, I'm immediately by his side.
But very quickly, the 25 words you hear. Understand, I am the solution. You don't see it yet, but you will. I hold 2 people you value. Let's trade. Replace the stolen vessel.
What do you see with your monocle?
With your monocle, you see nothing. There's nothing invisible here today.
No scry.
No scrying.
Damn it.
Is that your reply? Just damn it.
Yeah, that is your reply. You do. Except I don't think you get to apply with sending unless you cast it. Which reminds me.
The next 25 words are your reply.
You probably could. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you do have 25 words to apply with. So you begin with damn it.
That's 2.
Damn it is 1 word.
That's your next 3. I'm kidding.
Fuck you. You lose words here, boy.
That is 1 word. Fuck you.
If you hurt them, I swear to God. What do you want in return? Where are we meeting you?
There is no reply.
What's up? What do you want me for?
The druid just contacted me.
Ooh, fun. Is he watching us all?
I figured, but they don't seem to be looking at us.
Maybe you should keep that on more often.
It only has so much magic ability before it needs to recharge.
Shame.
They have the twins.
How do you know they have the twins?
They just told me.
They said
They
we
want-
have the twins. They gave you the name. Danny and Sarah.
Their words were, I have 2 people important to you. The 2 that we know were in the area.
Okay, so I will admit that does sound.
They want a replacement for the vessel. I don't know what that entails. I inquired about it just a moment ago. But they might not tell us. I don't know if we need to pick something up, if what it is, but we need to deal with this. I don't feel.
Can you look around us real quick?
You want to make a perception? Yes, no?
Easy.
Yeah, I'm asking you to look around us because you're the one with the monocle.
That is a 33 for perception.
For perception. You don't notice anything magical to the monocle. But you do notice, off in the distance, what seems to be another log blocking the path. And you also notice what seems to be a couple of shapes to either side. Looks like they're moving down towards the log as well, in line with you. But they're not near the shore or anything. You just very faintly see, like, just shadows off in the woods.
How far away is the log from us? And by proxy, how far are the people away from the log?
I want to say you guys have about, let's say, half an hour before you reach there. And these things, you know, now that you're paying attention to them, you just... It's scattered movement, but it definitely seems like they're just kind of like, you know, keeping pace with you. Very intentionally.
I'll send Dottie down if you tell me about it.
Just a minute, AC. Do I see A-Rod or is he inside?
He's probably awake at this point. We're like around noon of the third day of travel.
A-Rod,
Yeah, what's up?
do you see those figures by the log down there?
Let me see. Do I see him?
Let's get a
What?
perception check. You can roll with advantage because it's being pointed out.
Okay. Good, because that first one was a natural one.
Ooh, the sun!
16.
16. You don't see the figures along the banks moving, but you do notice what seems to be almost a tree, but it's like gray and not a tree. And you're just like, I think that might be the leg of a giant.
I'll send Dottie down.
So, check out that tree. Does that look like a tree to you?
I don't know, but Dottie might be able to figure it out.
When she bites into him.
You know, but
Dottie's
this,
going on a mission.
so to be a
for
bit more precise in this, so we have again another tree blocking, but on like the left side, it looks like, you know, a tree trunk except, you know, in thickness, but it's not, and it's off to the side like it's trying to blend in with the woods.
That's a giant, guys.
Dottie's gonna get a little closer, and she's gonna start chewing at the log in the middle of it.
Yeah, are you able to get up there and you're able to start nibbling on it?
Yeah. And I'm giving her like a sense of urgency, and like we gotta go fast.
Make a D20, and you can add, you know,
I have this
with
one spell. I've
proficiency.
used it before. Earth Tremor.
Mm-hmm.
Would that affect anything, do you think?
Probably not.
I'm gonna check real quick.
But yeah, your beaver is able to get up there and start gnawing away, but you guys are definitely going to end up next to this log before it breaks. Same as
Okay.
last time.
I'm just looking over my stuff
Okay,
here. Just looking at what I can do.
It causes a tremor in a 10-foot radius. Each creature must make a dexterity saving throw or they take bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone. If the ground is an area of earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared.
Yes. But you don't have that. You can cast touch effects to your familiar.
It's a radius from self. You can cast your spells to your familiar, can't you?
Touch spells.
Touch spells only? Damn it. Oh well. I'll just have her, like, go ham on it as hard as she can. Yeah, that's only a 14. Do I add anything to it?
You can add the proficiency of the thing, but I don't think it has the proficiency as a 1/8.
Okay, DM. I need an official jank ruling.
Of course you do.
So, decompose.
These
Decompose
nuts.
specify.
Please continue.
Decompose specifies the corpse of a creature,
Yes.
but in the actual explanation of a spell, it says it begins to rapidly decompose, sprouting fungus and moss, and it degrades into compost and mulch. Would I be able to do this to a tree?
What level is the spell?
It's a cantrip.
Then no, because there's the spell Blight that would pretty much do this. So I'm not going to let you substitute a cantrip for Blight. Fair enough?
Sure. I need to look up what the fuck Blake does.
Nasty, nasty things to plant.
Alright. So,
It's up 16.
So we could plan for a little bit, or we could take break now for 15 minutes, and then get back to this when you guys are getting closer to the log. Sound like a plan?
Yep.
Alright, in that case, we will see you guys back here in 15 minutes. Thank you guys for joining us, and BRB. Okay, we are back. Let me just check on my kids and see how they're doing.
What happened if you have two limbs?
Everybody. Alright. So, before we left off for break, you guys, on this raft, you had one night where you, well, one day where you came across a log. You understood that it was dragged into position somehow, and there was quite a few footsteps, including some really big ones. The following day, Shalashar just got a message from a very caring soul telling him that he's found two people that he cares about deeply and has offered graciously to trade in return for him replacing a vessel that he stole from him. But before they could get too far into that conversation, you guys spotted another log similar to the first one blocking the path, as well as noting some figures on either side of the river. Arod noticing what seems to be the leg of a large grey giant, and Beaver making all haste to this log, trying to get it out of the way before you guys get there. What would you like to do? What's the plan?
Who has the invisibility orb? Hand that over.
What are you planning on doing?
Distraction. And
I was just
authentication.
gonna see if Arod could shoot some arrows up the tree. See if he can break and just pass by.
If we can get in there, I can backstab.
I mean, we don't know how many over there are. Presumably a giant. And there's only so many of us that can hold this raft.
Cool.
So regardless...
You will get a sensation from Hotha, and she's going to inform you that there is one giant and about 20-ish gnolls.
Ooh. Did you guys pick up on that? Or was it just... It's like a giant and about 20 gnolls?
20?
20. That's what she said.
This isn't a fight we can win.
Yeah, my plan just went absolutely to shit, so... I was gonna run up there and ask her to drop a fog cloud on me.
Maybe ask her to drop a fog cloud when we get closer.
Yeah. So, Arod, you got a lot of range. You want to start shooting?
I'm on it.
I'm going to pull out a little piece
I was
of
actually going to say that too. I'm going to get back into beaver mode. Get in touch with my beaver. See what, have her keep eyes on things while she's chewing. So, tally ho, good sir. Please don't shoot my beaver, and I...
I don't miss an arrow.
Now
can I wrap something around it?
Huh?
Sure.
Should I wrap something around the arrow when it's not, like, is it tangible? Or is it ethereal until it's actually shot?
I mean, I have actual arrows. So I can just knock one of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably the best, because these arrows kind of like they appear, then they get launched, and then they stay for a little bit, but then they eventually leave.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. If I tied like a ribbon around it and set fire to it when it fires, if it'll spread and dissipate.
It'd be best to use an actual arrow.
I'll just knock a real arrow. Let you do it.
I think our best bet is to actually break it. I don't think the fire will do enough in the short span of time we have. So I think we just go for gold and we break it.
While I'm there chewing, I'm gonna be like, this is so wet. It is like, it's got weird texture to it, you know? I feel chewing on it, but like, I'm not chewing on it myself. It's weird. The wood is like, it's like wet and pulpy, and I'm just like, it's an odd thing, you guys. I've never done this before. I'm not trying to feel about it.
Shooting my arrows. Wood in your mouth.
Actually, roll a survival or a nature check.
Me?
Who?
You. Assy.
Me? Yeah. I don't think it matters what my bonus is. That's a 2 on the die.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Making up for all of those 18s earlier.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Oof.
Alright,
How far is a tree from us?
you guys are getting closer. It's probably about 15 minutes away now.
I'm definitely missing something now.
A-Rod, can you go ahead and, well, let's see. You guys are moving. You could probably... You have a longbow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
More
Do you
than
have
600
anything
feet
that
range.
helps you shoot really far?
Huh?
Do you have, like, sharpshooter or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Plus
In that
longbow's
case,
range
can
is like
you
600.
go ahead and start making some attack rolls for me?
I'm also like, I've come up underneath it.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to see me right away, so I'm like underneath and I'm coming
I
like, back.
am-
17.
17? Alright. You are able to start hitting the tree with that. So you're...
With some nice force arrows.
So I'm not going to make you make every single attack roll here, as it is an arrow against a tree. You know, this is only really working because they're force arrows and you have an unlimited supply of them as you're just
Yeah.
throwing
I just
these...
keep knocking and sending them.
Yeah. So we're not going to make you roll every single attack, but every once in a while we'll just check in and see how your aim is doing.
Okay.
Anyone else that you want to let me know what it is that you're doing to help resolve this coming scenario?
Yeah. Hey, Captain. You and your people should probably be taking cover. That's an ambush up there.
Maybe like slow it down a little bit. I'm taking. This is hard to chew through. Like try and buy me some time, maybe.
Can all
I
of
can
you and
feel
your
the
crew
pulsing
come over here?
fibers. I can taste it. I can taste tree and river water, guys.
Can I get the captain and the crew all in a rough area?
I mean, so if they do, then they're not able to guide the boat, and it's gonna start, like, you know, doing weird things in the river. Right? Like, the people on the poles, they're pretty much just, like, walking it along the shore. They're, like, using it to, like, ride it and keep it straight. If not, it would be, like, spinning, it would be doing weird shit. So you kind of need people on the poles.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to start my ritual for water walk, which I can have up to 10 people, 10 creatures, and it gives them water walking for an hour.
Okay, so you just want to gather everyone by the poles.
Yeah. There, while I'm doing this, the little one is right. There seems to be quite a few gnolls and a giant up ahead. I don't know what the purpose is. We are trying to bypass the blockade. But worst case scenario, we need to get off this raft. What I'm giving you now will allow you to walk on water. When we get there, if we can't pass straight through or anything happens, just go to the opposite side of the riverbank. Just run. We'll hold them off. We'll make sure you're safe.
Alright. Now, I will tell you, you have seen things on both sides of the riverbank.
Is it on the other side as well?
Yes. There's a giant on the left side, but there are figures shadowing you from both sides of the river.
We'll maybe abandon the raft. Maybe we should probably catch up to it. We'll go to the opposite side where the giant is, and we'll reconvene there, and we'll keep you safe.
Okay.
Just be ready, be aware. Maybe it's better if you sit inside the cabin for now. Just avoid any issues.
Try to get him to slow it down a little. Hey, Rod. Shoot forward mode. Don't shoot so far back. I'm coming from the back of the log. Like.
Got it, adjusting. And I'll like tap your arm to let you know I'm adjusting.
Yeah.
Make another attack roll.
Da-da-da.
Shoot the front side, not the back side. I'm chewing in the back.
19.
19. Yep, you're able to adjust just a little bit. You guys are probably close to about 5 minutes away now. It is now clearly coming into view. The crew at this point, like, Beth, the captain, and Christopher have moved in, so it's Yuri and Mara that are still manning the poles as best as they
Did
can.
they slow it down at all, like I asked?
They are trying, but, you know,
Yeah.
for the most part, like, they're not rowing the thing, they're just keeping it straight, right? It doesn't have a rudder. That's their job.
Yeah, my idea is just, like, try to, like, hold it in place for a second. Here and there, you know?
Should I run ahead and start chopping through the tree? Now that the water walk is on?
Can I roll a perception to see just like how damaged the tree looks? If you have a chance at like breaking through it?
Go ahead and make that perception roll.
That's a nat one, but plus is a 16.
A 16. Well, the good news is you can see like there is some visible damage to it. At this point, like every time one of A-Rod's arrows like hits the log, one disappears and another like, you know, takes that thing's place. You guys are probably like close to like 70% of the way through. But the main thing that does catch your attention is like now that you guys are getting closer, you can now like they're no longer shadows. You can now actually like see the gnolls and they're like starting to like crowd closer and closer to the shore. They're still trying to stay hidden, but at this point, like, they're getting more and more excited. And, like, they haven't moved up completely. There's a bunch, like, farther back as well. Like, you guys are probably, like, in the middle of this pack. They just haven't done anything yet.
They know what's coming. They're patient enough. They expect us to get stuck here.
Yes.
For reference, Water Walk I cast on all of us.
I know. You said 10 creatures.
Yeah.
There's 8 of you here.
So just letting
Sorry,
everyone
9
know.
of you here.
9!
9. So I am well aware.
Yeah, I just want to make sure like AC and everyone got the.
So
got the
why
point.
don't we go ahead and roll some initiative just so I have it.
I'd rather not. I know what rolling initiative means.
I rolled my stuff while I was on break, so I didn't have to roll all of my dice.
23.
Okay, initiative is +3. Oof.
Alright, so 20 to 25.
23.
23.
What about if I got a 30?
Did you?
No.
Okay. So, then we have 15 to 20.
19.
19. Alright, what did you get, Cole, and what did you get, Assie?
13.
11.
11. Wow, you guys are actually all decent.
I'm not the back of the pack, that's all that matters.
Alright. A-Rod, you are up first. We are going to say that at this point, we are getting to the final, like, 120 feet to the log. At this point, it does actually have, like, quite a bit of damage. Like, there's a bunch of, like, splinters and driftwood pooling underneath it. Like, the beaver's, like, almost blending in from all of this. So it's about ready to break, but it's probably going to take, like, another 5 or so attacks from you and the beaver.
Okay,
Can I jump out of my beaver senses and start shooting myself?
Huh?
Can I jump out of my beaver senses and start shooting arrows as well?
When it gets to your turn, you can. But right now, it's A-Rod's turn, followed by Shalashar.
I will cap AC, give her the signal to come back. I will shoot an arrow into the wood, and then I will block her body with mine. So I'm just gonna like wrap around her just in case any arrows come this way.
Okay.
Aww.
Go ahead and make that attack roll for me. And this time we will
Got
be
it.
counting your attacks.
Yes. That's a 15 on the die for a 22.
22. Okay. You can roll damage as well.
Do I get sneak attack on a log?
No, sir.
12.
Well, you got it. And then after that, you wrap yourself around a, Shalashar.
So I can see gnolls on both sides of the river, right?
Yes, they are, if you would like a description, tall things. They're probably about anywhere from 5 to 6 feet depending on each one. They have various levels of chainmail, leather. All of them, however, have just very hungry looks in their eyes, and they have very cruel looking weapons. Most of them seem like they have axes, some of them have curved swords, but they definitely seem excited.
What do gnolls look like for the people that don't know what a gnoll looks like?
What a gnoll looks like. They are hyena-esque monstrosities. They are bipedal furred creatures. They have a very stooped posture with a very prominent, I would say a hunchback, or we'll say a hunchback with a large mane that kind of runs down the back of it. They have tails and they have sharp teeth. Their eyes are usually anything from red, ambers, that sort of thing. If you want, you can make a religion check, Shalashar, if you train in it.
I don't know what it looks like, I just wanted you to
I
get
am not.
that.
No, you can make it anyways, you're a cleric.
That is an 8.
An 8. The only thing you know about them is that in this world, instead of coming from the abyss and being demonic in nature, they are actually tied to the planes of the wild. They're actually seen as guardians of Arima, which is the evil goddess of nature.
I'm going to pull out my axe, and I'll ready my battle axe, and then I want to see one of the gnolls on the right side of the river, away from the giant. I want to find one in the middle of the pack, and I'm going to cast Crown of Madness on him.
Okay.
So I'm going to walk over to the side of the boat, I'm going to pull my mask off, and I'm going to vomit the black sludge, and it's going to start grabbing and creating tentacles and pull itself across the water, and make its way over to him.
Okay. And he gets to make a wisdom save, yeah?
Yes.
How does an 18 do?
Fuck you.
It comes up the water and they just start stomping on it. They just start
All
going.
of your saving throws have been great.
Oh, what can I say?
Everything else has sucked, but it's just
Sometimes I get lucky. Now, the bad news is 5 gnolls go, and then we get to your turn, Assy.
Well, I don't like this very much, but okay.
It's alright. Don't you worry. They don't have, great weapons. They just have a little something, you know what I'm saying?
They have magic weapons with +8 to hit. Don't worry.
Insta-kill. Power word kill.
Power word fuck.
Take it back. Jeez. I haven't rolled below a 17.
With arrows of killed wealth.
Yes, killed wealth. So, A-Rod,
Oh,
does 17
oh,
beat your
you guys
AC?
have family.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Does 17 beat your AC?
It does.
Okay. You're gonna take 2 arrows.
Alright, I'm shielding Assy best I can.
Oh, I
so
know.
if
That's
anything-
why you're taking 2.
Okay, that's
Right. You're gonna take a total of 10 points of piercing damage as just this volley of arrows come out. 2 hit you.
Okay.
Shalashar. I have a 17, a 19, and another 19.
Nope.
None of those?
Nope.
What the fuck?
AC tank.
Yeah,
You
he's
got it.
better armor than I do.
Yeah, he
They-
does have a super high armor class.
They do like strike you, but the thing is, you're just bone, so you just get like a couple of arrows, like just through your
It just
armor.
rattles through the ribcage.
Yeah, but like, there's
Shoot
nothing really
out.
to hit in there, and you just kind of like, you look a bit more like a pin cushion. Assi, we get to your turn, and then after that, 5 gnolls and a giant go, and then Cole goes, and then 10 gnolls go.
Okay, so the first thing I do is I pull myself out of Dottie, but as I'm leaving, I tell Epidot, like, keep chewing, keep at it, girly. So she's gonna take a turn chewing.
Can you just make a d20 roll for her?
Ooh, that's 15 plus her proficiency, which is 2. So 17.
Alright, you got it.
And she does double damage to wood.
Yes.
Because
So it's almost there, but it's just barely hanging on.
like she's going to town. She's like,
And then we get back to you, who like you like bamf in, and you feel like Arod's arms around you, and then suddenly you just feel him like jolt against you as he like just gets shot twice.
what the fuck did I miss?
What? It's okay.
And
Cough up
as
a little
I'm
blood.
saying this, I'm going to pull a bow and arrow that I don't use very often because like Arrow has shown me the basics of shooting, but I don't use it very often.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing for me that much. I have the longbow. Somebody's at the door. 1 second. I need to mute myself because Kai's getting bugged, and I'm gonna check the door real quick.
Okay. So in the meantime, everyone, let me just quickly go over my shit and make sure that everything looks good. Everything looks fantastic. Really unfortunate timing with the door.
My mama.
And sadly, she does need to go because after this, big things happen, and then so I can't just
Like giant big?
yes, like giant big.
No thanks.
Oh good, she's back. All right, your turn.
I'm terribly sorry. Somebody just returned with hot chocolate and Timmy's. But so I bounced back into his arms. I am going to, as a bonus action, I'm going to talk to him, but I'll say it when he gets back. So I'm just going to hold on to that for now. But I'm going to take a shot at the tree.
Okay. I'm assuming that you guys are up on the staircase to see the log.
Yeah, like I've been holding on to him, so whatever
Make
position
your
he's in,
attack.
I'm like just a step below him, really. So I've got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Dirty 20.
Duty 20. That will hit.
That'll hit. Awesome. I am just double checking.
You can also roll damage.
Yeah, I'm just double checking the damage because I have here longbow, but I didn't write down the damage of it because, like, I'm like, oh, I'll write down when I use it.
D6, I think.
D8.
Yeah, 1d8.
I played a ranger for 3 years. I'm fairly certain about that.
Ooh, I actually rolled an 8 on there, plus 3.
Nice. Okay. The log is now like due to the corn, it's like starting to like push through, but it is still intact.
Okay.
But it is
so,
visibly moving from the corn.
So I bam back and like I pull out my bow and I look up at Aaron and I pat him on the cheek really affectionately. I'm like, "Don't worry, buddy, you got this." And I'm gonna just like pull back. I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna and I'm gonna give you inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Is that your turn, Assy?
That is my turn.
Alright. We got a couple of gnolls going, followed by a giant.
No thanks.
Alright.
Virginia.
Let's start with
Maybe
the
should have
gnolls.
inspired Cole about A, I don't know where he is, and B, I don't know where he is.
Cole, whereabouts are you in all of this?
Me?
Yes.
I'm as close to the group as possible.
Okay. Fantastic. So, Assy, does a 15 hit?
Ooh, I'm pretty sure that does.
A-Rod, same question.
Yeah, it does.
No, my AC is 16.
Squishy.
Do I see this coming?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
I'm
like
gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. I've only got so many charges of
it's
it. I'm gonna
only
save
3 points of piercing damage.
it. Okay. Yeah, three is tolerable.
Fantastic.
I can stomach
Cole,
3.
does a 17 hit?
Don't think so, but let me double check. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Alright. But you know what does hit is a nat 20 and a 19 on Yuri the dwarf, who just gets pegged in the face and falls off the boat. And now suddenly the boat is starting to tilt badly. Then we get to the giant's turn, who is going to just start walking towards you guys. He's not going to quite make it, but now the boat is starting to tilt. There's a very large giant. Let me get a description of this fine fellow for you fine folks. Do. Stone giants. So, this roughly 19-foot tall gray-skinned being just kind of like walks into the water, and he's like in like the "I'm gonna get you" position. You know, his shoulders are hunched, the water's coming up to his knees, and he's just like, you know, he's ready to grapple with you fine folks. It looks like he has some manacles hanging, but it looks like the manacles connect in the middle, and they've been unchained. And he also has another collar around his neck. You can also see that collar is attached to a chain that is going back off into the woods. So he's unable to run if he wanted to, as he like gets down in this position of "I'm gonna get ya." Cool. We get to your turn.
Is it possible to grab Yuri and drag her onto the boat?
Yeah, you can try to grab him if you want. But I will say, you saw an arrow like go through his eye socket.
Oh, okay. So, like, dead.
Yeah, he got just obliterated.
He's a clear. So you can fix that, can't you?
Well, yeah, you do. You
No.
could. There would take some doing, but technically, if you guys wanted to, you could try to save this dwarf.
Gotta save ourselves first.
I can't
I mean,
cure. I can't cure an arrow through the brain.
Well, technically, he does have death saves. He didn't fully
Like,
fail.
technically, you can actually save him if you grab him, pull him on, and just use lay on hands once.
So it's up to you.
Technically, that would save him.
Sometimes I hate being good. All right, I'll drag him on back onto the boat.
Just like quickly reach back, pull this poor body back on to the boat.
And
No,
I'll-
what a medicine check to stabilize.
No, I'll just smack him with the lay on tail for a point.
Okay.
See
Are
if
you
that
going to
will-
do anything with the arrow before you do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna yank it out.
Dude, can't.
Roll a medicine check.
Justin. My dude.
Really? Oh, medicine.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
+1.
It's a fucking caramel apple, Justin, please.
How
Yeah,
aggressively do you pull the
10.
arrow out of the eye socket?
10?
Is my question.
10.
Do you think you try to keep the eye in the socket? Be honest with me.
Emergency situation, panicking? No, probably
Right.
not.
You just pull the arrow and it comes out with the eye as well.
Better to be alive than without an eye than dead. And,
Right,
well,
so then you
dead.
slap this guy and he does like groggily like come back and he like immediately like reaches for his face. I'm like, my.
Hertha, can you drop a fog cloud on us?
Everything on the back of the boat and everything behind the boat starts getting just covered in fog.
Out of character. Sorry, archers, but
Yeah, I was about to say, I need to see that log.
I mean, you guys are at the
with
front.
the way we're moving, the fog is going to be behind us.
Yeah. So it actually won't
it
affect
has
you.
nothing to do with
All we
what's
need to
happening.
do is run to the front of the boat, really.
We're literally just
Okay.
carpet bombing a line behind us.
yeah, well, it'll like gain us around.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you hang out
And is
in
that
the
your
middle
totem
of
call?
cheese oil,
I don't think I really. Yeah, I can't really do anything with bonus action at the moment, so yeah, I'm done.
Alright. We have 10 gnolls.
god damn it.
The stray
Oh my God.
glows. That's right, I'm just rolling relatively quickly here. Alright. They have disadvantages on the ones on the back, so cool. Does a 19 hit? This is the only good
Yep.
roll they got back there.
Barely hits.
Barely hits. You're going to take 4 points of piercing damage.
Oh no.
As like 7 other arrows just like chunk around you guys. The last 3, however, Asi does a 16 hit.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Fantastic. And Shalashar. 19 doesn't hit, does it?
But does not.
Does not. Alright, Asi, that's going to be 4 points of piercing damage to you as well. Alright, then we get to the boat crew who are going to use their turn to kind of recorrect this boat and get it back in line with this log. And then we get to your turn, A-Rod, followed by Shalashai.
Once again, I'm gonna have to rinse and repeat. Does this log look like it's just on its last threads, right?
Yes, it is like right there, ready to go.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and deliver the final blow to it then.
That one.
Shoot. Punch me in the
Oh,
face
15.
instead.
Huh?
22.
22? Yep, now you don't even need to roll damage as the last arrow
No.
just pings it off and the starts to go with the cord, the log. Splitting
Then I'm
to either
gonna
side.
I'm gonna grab AC and put her down towards the ground and be like, get down, and shield myself with her.
Alright.
I'm also gonna, like, in total, like, try to push my arm over him, too, and try to protect him.
We
I know I
can
have
cover to
gloves,
each
so-
other.
And he's taken several hits, so I'm, like, trying to protect, like, where he's already been hit.
Shalashar, is that your turn, A-Rod?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, Shalashar, you're up. Followed by 5 gnolls and then Asi.
Alright, what's the plan here? We fighting? We running?
Running.
He's fighting a giant!
I'm going to run over to the side of the boat with Yuri. Yes. I'm gonna put my body there, and then I'm going to turn to the giant. I'm just gonna let a black wave of energy come out of my hand, and I'm gonna try and instill some fear into him.
Okay. What save is that?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save, is it?
Yep. Here comes an 18.
Doo-doo. You got it. Is that your turn?
You actually rolled an 18.
Well, I'll tell you what happens when we get to his turn.
Okay. I'm gonna position myself in front of. I guess since Kurt's there, I can go towards one of the other oarsmen and I'll position myself to be like in the way. I'm gonna try and body block them from any arrows.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Gnolls. Jesus. Okay. A-Rod.
Yes.
You
I
said
said
you
fuck
mostly
him.
want to be on top.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to get on top of him this time.
I'll take the top.
Alright, so we have two 14s, a 17, and a 19.
The 17 and 19 hit.
And then at the back, it misses. In total, you're going to suffer, those are good rolls, 8 points of piercing damage as 2 more arrows slam into you.
How are you looking?
Okay. I'm still in the fight.
Okay.
Alright, Assy, you're up next, followed by 5 gnolls and a giant.
Okay.
And then Cole.
So I'm just telling, mentally in my head, I'm telling my little beaver, I'm like, get those fucking logs out of the way, baby cakes, I love you. So she like starts grabbing and like pushing against the log, trying to like move it along faster, like if one of them's like not
Rescue
moving as
kicking.
much as the other. Like you've seen a beaver drag a fucking
no,
tree,
I've
right?
seen
Like,
it. I know what you're saying.
do this. This isn't hardball. This is what she's built for. So, Baby Cakes is doing her best, and do I see where the chain is leading on the
If you want to use your bonus action to do a perception check, I will let you.
Sure. 12.
12? It goes a ways off back into the woods. It seems like it is a very long chain, and it goes farther than like you're able to see. You would guess it's probably like at least a 200-foot chain. At least.
Okay. Okay. I've got an idea. So I'm like, you fucking idiot! Look at you! You're like a freaking pincushion! And I'm gonna like start like shoving A-Rod back into the fog cloud and like trying to shield him.
So you guys would need to leave the stairs and go to the back of the boat.
Yeah. All 4'8" of me is trying to shove him along.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be moving at half speed because I'm like moving him with me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you use an action to take him with you. Drag A-Rod if... Do you let her drag
If
you?
it's an action, then I can't do it because I need my action.
I'll let her.
Alright, that's up to you if you want to push him or if you just want to go.
I'm just gonna move and position myself in front of him in any danger. Like where most of the arrows have been coming from, that's where I'm like trying to position myself. But I also like, I lock eyes with the giant, and I just start whispering this creepy elven fairy tale for children about this monster that if you don't hold your britches properly, it'll come in the night and strangle you with your own pants.
Okay.
And I start whispering this in Elvish, and I'm like, and if you aren't careful, he's gonna come, and he's gonna hang you by your pants. And I cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. Does he get a save against
Wisdom
this?
saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes. The DC is
Does a 17 beat it?
What?
17.
Fucking hell. On a failed save, he takes damage and features automatically. Okay, so he still takes half damage.
Okay.
So he still is gonna take half damage, but he doesn't move. He isn't forced to move away from me, which is what I was really aiming for, you know.
Yeah.
That forced movement is what I want to do. Um, 14, so 7 psychic damage.
7 psychic. You got it. Okay. Then we get to the 5 gnoll and the giant. That is the end of your turn.
That is the end of my turn, unfortunately. And I'm gonna be like, once he doesn't move, I'm gonna be like, fuck! I told you to leave.
Alright. The bad news is they've realized that the things in the fog aren't really getting hit, so they are targeting mostly the two they can see.
Uh-oh.
Good news is they didn't roll that good except for one that got a nat 20 against you, Assie.
Tiara of Blow, he has to roll with disadvantage.
Okay. I think that takes an action to use, doesn't it?
Nope, so it'll be action.
Are you
So
sure?
impose disadvantage.
Alright.
I impose it for, I think it's for my turn, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure it's an action to turn it on, not a reaction.
Nope, it's a reaction.
Alright, I'll trust you.
And I've only got 3 charges that come back at dawn.
Alright, in that case, you're gonna dodge it. In which case, it's just a 19 against you, A-Rod.
Yep, that hits.
Alright, that will be 5. The other 3 arrows miss.
God damn it. I was hoping to block him still, but at least it's on that 20.
Alright, then we get to the Giant's Toad, who is going to start backing away, scared, out of the water. Just start shuffling backwards, back up the bank.
Own daddy for the win.
That's why we keep him around.
That's why we keep him around, people.
Alright,
Can I see what? Sorry to break initiative. Can I see what he's running from?
you dumb bitch.
Okay. well, because it like.
Then
fear
we get to
specifies-
Cole's turn, followed by 10 gnolls.
Starting to look rough now, by the way.
What would you like to do, Cole? Now, you guys are now almost like in line with the logs now, the broken logs that are getting out of the way. Next turn, you'll be passing by where the logs were.
How bad are you, A-Rod?
I'm at 10.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, let's run up to him. Smack him with my tail for,
Just got arrows in my
20.
back.
Give him 20 points.
20 points.
20 points of healing.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
only on
I'm-
tail.
Yeah.
Like he's getting laid.
He got some tail. And that'll be... I guess that'll be my turn.
Alright. We have 4 gnolls that are shooting, and then 6 that are running to where the logs were, and they look like they're getting ready to, like, they're gonna use their turn to try to get onto the barge. But first, we have 4 shots to resolve. Yes, Assie.
So I cannot find the Tiara of Blow online. I'm pretty sure it's because it's something you made up, yeah?
It is. That's why.
So you told me reaction. The spell Blow, it lasts for up to 1 minute. So does this Tiara, does it only have just to block 3 attacks?
We're going
per
to
day?
say, I'll look at it because I have it written somewhere, but for the rest of this, because I let you use it as a reaction, we'll just use it as 3 reactions to impose disadvantage.
Yeah.
And then I'll check it out later.
I'm wondering if it's just for like just until my next turn.
So
that it
blow
is, or
itself
just
takes
that
an
one
action to
attack?
cast, not a reaction. We already used it as a reaction, so we're going to homebrew it that for 1 turn, all attacks against you have disadvantage.
Okay.
I'll check it, and I'll get back to you after this.
Yeah.
Deal?
Well, I was just wondering if it's like for like just that 1 attack, or if it's for like a length of
It's for
time.
1 attack.
It'll be against all attacks against you until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
Right? So it's not
Thank
like,
you,
it's
sir.
not a silvery barb, you're still blowy, so all attacks against you.
Yeah.
That being said, 2 attacks are going to miss because of it. A-Rod is also going to get missed, and then Cole, because you're up there, does 19 hit.
Yep.
Alright. You are going to take, Cole, 6 points of piercing damage.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
That's how I feel.
Next, I have a couple of athletic checks to make, as these things are going to try to run across the splitting logs to try to get onto the boat. These guys are fucking fools.
How
Jesus.
do people get any attack of opportunity against them as they run by?
they step on the logs and then
I didn't roll above a 10. He watches 6 gnolls step on the logs and just fall into the water. Just a line of... Every single one of them failed.
mastermind.
Can Dottie take an attack of opportunity as well as running by and just smack him with the tail?
No, he's busy. A-Rod, it's
Damn
your
it.
turn. You watch as 6 gnolls just conga line into the water like none of them make it.
Hey,
I'm gonna take I'm gonna use my bonus action to see if I can hide.
Now, where would you
Can
like
I-
to hide?
Is
Behind
it-
me, I'm giving you shelter. I'm blowy too.
I don't know. Where are all the good hiding spots on this barge at?
In the fog? It's actually moving in the fog now. When it leaves,
Yeah,
you
there's the
can
fog, and then
sense
there's also like the sheltered roof directly in front of you.
I'll go to the sheltered roof.
Okay.
Isn't-
When
isn't
you get in there,
close
like
to-
there's Christopher, Beth, and Rick, and they're just like huddled in the back, and they're like, "What are you doing in here?"
Keep doing what you're doing, guys. You're doing great. We're gonna be fine. Everything's fine. The situation is totally under control. And I'm gonna roll to hide.
All right.
I want to see if I can get a.
runs under the bed, pulls the blanket over yourself.
25 to hide.
What are you hiding?
All right.
And I'm gonna see if I can get a good line of sight on any of the gnolls that fell into the water.
Yeah.
And
I mean, at this point, you
shoot.
guys are like passing. They're like splashing in the water next to you guys, and actually,
I'm
like,
gonna send an arrow in at one of them.
as you guys are passing, because like I said, Yuri's like he's like barely alive at this point. He has like 1 hit point, and he's like trying. But Mao the Goliath is like slapping them with the pole as you guys are going past. He's like dunking them in the water. But yeah, you can make
Try
an
to
attack.
drown him.
Yeah. He's like an old washing dude. He's churning gnoll butter.
Does a 22 hit?
Yes, that will hit. It can be sneak attack as well.
Alright, so it's 12 plus.
They're probably more concerned
14.
with not drowning anyways.
Yes. Well, even say you hit the one that Mao is like, but gnoll churning.
Yeah. 12 plus 14.
12 plus 14, that is 26.
Yes, it is, sir. And then I'm gonna run back to AC, grab her by the shoulders, and just say, "Hey, just stay low, please."
You're the one who's half dead on your fucking feet.
Shalashan.
I got tail slapped by Core. I feel much better.
I'm gonna shove your head down.
That's my turn.
So none of the gnolls made it. How far, like, are they trying to path alongside the barge, or are we kind of in the clear at the moment?
It seems like, well, most of them, like, they land in the water. They're mostly just trying to regroup back on the shore, and then they're probably going to try again. But you guys are now past where the log is. Probably, like, if you were to make an assumption, you need to find a way to speed this bad boy up if you wish to escape.
I'm gonna do something very weird.
As opposed to usual when you do something very weird.
Yes.
I
I'm
figured I'd switch it
going-
up. Do something weird.
You already once asked
I'm
for Jake
drop-
this game.
I'm dropping my. No, I'll just store my axe. I'm going to run around the end of the barge, and I'm going to use my athletics, and I want to push the boat. I want to run like Jesus on the water, pushing the boat.
Make an athletics check.
Good thing I'm proficient.
Honestly, love it.
+5, that brings it up to 18.
18. Yeah, I mean, that works. You're able to start shoving it. The mouth starts moving a little bit quicker. Alright,
Sure, ahead.
In a moment.
next we get to 5 gnolls followed by Assy. Now,
I'm trying to protect him still.
I know, you are also the only one that isn't covered in fog or anything else, so you are going to be the main target, sorry to say.
Awesome. Is my blue still up?
Yes. Because it goes until your next turn. Alright, with disadvantage, only one of them is going to hit you. You're going to take 5 points of piercing damage.
How much?
5.
5? Okay, so I'd just like to point something out. I took 3 damage, then 4 damage, now 5 damage.
Yes.
You're just counting up?
Yes.
It's all ascending.
It keeps going. It's a combo.
Combo.
Assie, your turn, followed by 5 gnolls and a giant.
How many arrows did I end up dodging?
4.
4. Matrix dodge some. One of them gets me in the shoulder. I'm like, ah, fuck. And I see that the giant still isn't moving, but he looks a little afraid of Salashar. So I hold my hand out and I start to whisper to him again. I'm like, do you see? He wants to eat your heart.
Do you see dead
He's
people?
going to jelly your eyes and spread them on toast. And he needs to make another wisdom saving throw. Do I get advantage because I'm trying to make him afraid of Salashar, who's already afraid of?
You don't need it.
Yes, so he fails?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna take 3d6 psychic, and for a reaction, he has to take all of his movement away.
Okay.
He has to move as far as he can away from us as a reaction.
That's the fear already.
Yeah, but this forces him to use his reaction to run.
Yeah. So the big thing is it forces the use of a reaction as well as moving. It doesn't move until it's fiercely dangerous, and a deafened creature is automatically immune to this. But let's roll some damage. Ooh, fuck! 2 5s and a 4. 14.
14. You got it. Okay. Is that your turn, Assie?
I still have a bonus action. I'm gonna move towards A-Rod, who's in the fog, but I'm also still trying to keep myself between him and danger. And as I run up and I see Cole, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, you got this!" I'm gonna give him bardic inspiration too.
Thank you.
Alright. Is that your turn?
That is my action, that is my bonus action, and that is moving to him, so yeah, that's everything I got.
Alright. The giant starts running. Usually 5 gnolls would attack here, but a couple of them are going to go and try to stop the giant and try to wrangle that beast. So instead, only a couple of them going to shoot. But all of you, I believe, are in the fog cloud now, correct?
Yep.
Alright, so with disadvantage, who wants to take it? It
Me.
is. You spoke up. It's a 17 to hit.
That's gonna hit me.
Alright. That is going to be 6 points of piercing damage.
The fuck was I just talking about, my dude?
So that's.
You had to say something. That's on you.
Full.
You could let the tank say that.
So you move up, you're like, "You got this, buddy!" Tink! There's another arrow in the arm. Cool, your turn.
Now that one grazes me on the side and it gets me nice and deep. Ah, fuck.
I'm gonna run back to Sal and help push.
Okay, make an athletic check for me.
Hope you're feeling strong.
I'm actually trained in athletics.
Same.
No,
This, by the way,
fucking
it
alive,
feels akin to running downhill, because you're holding onto this thing is dragging you and you're pushing at the same time. So it's just, it feels like you're on a treadmill and it's just building momentum.
So, also, my beaver is going to be looking to see if any of the gnolls grab onto the boat at all, and if they do, she's gonna bite them. So she's along one side of the boat, like looking for people
Oh, I'm
to fight.
pretty sure you guys are about to like exit this encounter.
Yeah.
Because
She-
it
she's
depends on
hanging out
how well
outside, like-
Cole rolls here.
Inspiration brings it up to 23.
23. Yeah, that is enough for you guys to just start putting ground between these. If any of the gnolls had made it onto the boat instead of all 6 of them failing their athletic checks, so I think that will just... You guys are able to escape with that, as you're able to just... With the fog cloud, none of the gnolls making it, the giant being scared, them trying to like move it, like... They're really not looking to fight. They're looking for something easy. So as soon as you guys like break free at this point, you'd like the cackling is receding in the distance. You can look behind and you see a bunch of gnolls that are just like shaking themselves off. As well as like a very loud bellow coming from the trees, as it sounds like the giant is not having a good time.
I'm gonna take my hands slightly shaking again. I'm gonna take a swig from my flask.
I'm gonna just like stop you.
Come on, I need a little swig.
You're already bleeding, and you've been drinking this entire time. Like,
I just need a little taste, just a little taste.
I'm worried about you. You're bleeding. This is gonna make you bleed more. Okay, let me bandage you up first.
All right. I'm glad we all made it out of there. That was quick thinking there, Core and Selishar.
I'm gonna help you guys back up onto the boat.
I mean, we're walking on water.
Yeah,
It
but
was
like,
really his idea.
Still quick thinking.
I love drink.
dude.
Rick is also like
Friday
saying the same
night.
thing, like thank you. Good work, guys.
Can I go to Yuri?
Yeah, I was
Yuri
about-
is
yeah.
like he's not having a good time. He's actually like he's retired. Christopher is taken over at the pole where Yuri was, and Yuri is like in the back and he's in the front. I mean, and he's freaking out about his eye. But yeah, you can find him there. Rick is there trying to like calm him down. He's like, "It's okay. Look, we'll double your pay. At least we survived." But Yuri is having none of it. He's just putting on a stone face and just... What would you like to do when you walk in on this?
From having his eye yanked out, you said you can, with magic, you can rebuild bone structures, you can repair organs, right?
To an
It might
extent.
it might be a little hurried, but you should be able to. If I were to put his eye back in the socket, because I am trained in medicine, do I think if I heal him and have the eye in the correct position, it might reattach?
You could probably get the eye back in, but to return the vision, you would need like a lesser restoration.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, doesn't lesser restoration
So you could
fix
get the
blindness?
eye attached.
Because I do have less restoration.
Yes. So you would need to use a cure wound and a lesser restoration, and we'll say make a medicine check to make sure you get the eye positioned properly.
Okay, then I will do that. Yuri, I might be able to return sight to your eye. This is not going to be pleasant, but we might be able to make this work. Can you... I'm going to lay my hand on his shoulder and I'm going to cast guidance. Can you just take a breath for me?
He like reaches down and he takes off his boot and he just puts it in his mouth and just lays down and gives you a nod.
With medicine, that brings me up to a 22.
22? Yeah, that is enough to pop that eye back in.
So,
He like grunts through it and you know, you can see like he's biting super hard into his boot.
yeah, you'll see my twisted little fingers kind of mulch into his fucking eye socket. I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration.
You'll see is like the eye just kind of, you know, so like the first thing that happens is like pops back in, use the cure wound, and the eye kind of like, it gets movement back, right? And then when you cast Lesser Restoration, you watch as like the white cataract that like originally formed when you did it. So you put the eye in, you cast it, it starts moving, and you watch as like the wound closes, but the eye immediately starts to take on a milky appearance. And then you pump in the lesser restoration and you like clear the cloudiness from the eye.
Just gonna pull my hand away and I'm just gonna start like wiping the
tears.
cooties.
Like off the cooties.
I'm gonna lean down and grab his head. Are you alright?
Like takes the boot and he's like, thank you. He definitely looks like he's like out of sorts, like he's still not doing 100%. How much did you heal him for?
With all my charges, that brings it up to 15.
15? Oh, in that case, he's a lot more chipper. He like almost like, takes the boot out, puts his hands out in front of him, and he's like, he just hugs you. He just pulls you in for a hug.
He has no other way to express his happiness.
Yeah, he's just patting you on the back. He's like, thank you so much.
I'll be a little awkward about it, but like, you're welcome.
You like hold you at arm's length, and he just kisses your mask. Then he puts you away. He's like, that was weird.
Glad I'm not the only one who saw that. Is everyone else okay? Does anybody need a medical help?
I'm good. How about you, A-Rod?
I'm alright, just pulling arrows out of my back.
I'm helping.
Can you get the one right under the shoulder blade right there?
I got it.
That's-
Hold still.
Okay.
And then I rip it out. I cast mending on your clothes.
Ah, thank you.
Captain, does anybody else need anything?
I think it was just Yuri that got injured. Thank you for that, by the way.
Told you we'd keep you safe.
Do we owe you anything? Or...
No.
Nah,
Sorry,
what we do.
I'll
Sorry
go
that I'm-
catch us some dinner. How about that? And he's gonna go grab his fishing pole and head back to the back.
If anyone asks, remember,
You
it was...
purposely put a fish on the hook.
Huh?
Do I get to
Remember-
be able to purposely put a fish on the hook?
I'll roll his fishing with advantage if your beaver is helping him.
But Beaver's gonna help him, because I don't think he's caught a fish yet this whole trip, has he?
No. He has not.
Yeah, Beaver's gonna help him tonight.
It's already it's an already dead fish on the hook. You caught someone's dinner.
If anyone asks, remember, it was Inflict Heroics that did save the day today.
Inflict heroics. You got it.
I'm gonna bandage up A-Rod, and while I'm bandaging him up, Song of Rest, so we both get like an extra D6 when we use our hit points to
Sweet.
rest heal.
Alright. Yes, because if you guys recall, when you rest today, you will not be getting spell slots, but you can use your hit dice to heal. So, I will need event rolls, 2 of them.
There's one other thing that I want to do for like tonight.
Yep, but let me just get these rolls and then we can do that.
Alternatively, we summon the tower in the middle of the barge.
What could go wrong?
Never said I was a smart man.
Who's rolling the events?
I'll roll one.
Ava, why don't you go ahead and roll the other?
Ooh, that's good. 19. Looks like the little timeout chair that actually worked.
14.
14? Alright. So, what would you guys like to do as the day continues to progress towards dusk?
Well, while I'm helping like A-Rod, I'm cleaning him up, I'm bandaging him up. Like I imagine after the fight, both of us like help each other clean up. Like
Yeah.
he ties off the bandage on my leg and like cleans the blood off of the one in the back of my shoulder, and like I pull him out of him, bandage him up where I can. Let's help each other out. I'm gonna be like pouting the whole time that I'm fixing you up.
What's wrong? You seem off.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Every time I try to be nice to Bone Daddy, he like totally brushes me off. And I'm saying this to you in half you can't, half.
Just getting half of the fucking words.
Like I'm making it clear that like I don't want to be overheard by Bone Daddy or like most people around us. So like anything that could really give away who it is, like saying like Bone Daddy or exactly like what I've done, it's like in Thieves' Cant.
He's a more low-key
No.
guy.
Like seriously, I went back to help him and Cole back onto the boat, offer them a hand up, and he totally shoved me and brushed me off, you know? And then the other night he was messing around with lock. So I tried to help him and give him a lockpick and like show him how to use it. And he pretty much told me to get bent.
He's a self-sufficient guy. You know him. He doesn't mean anything by it. It's not that he doesn't like you. It's just, it's not in his nature to accept
Doesn't
help.
like me. Like I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to help him out. But like, just hurts, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's just him being him, though. He doesn't mean anything by it. He's not a bad guy.
Yeah, he just doesn't like me.
I don't think it's that he doesn't like you. I think he's just not used to you, maybe. Your style can be a bit sometimes, especially with newer people, and, you know,
How am
maybe,
I a bit much?
maybe just
I'm
try a
not-
more tempered approach. You get excitable.
How much more tempered can I be than, hey, I see you messing around with picking locks. This is a lockpick. Let me show you how to use it.
Yeah,
How
I
much
see.
more tempered can I be than, hey, you're on the back of the boat in the water. Let me hold out a hand.
Yeah, I see your point. It's just Bone Daddy being Bone Daddy. I don't think he means anything by it. I wouldn't read too much into it. He'll come around. Just takes a little time. I would say maybe alcohol would help, but
We've been together for like, how long would it have been, DM? Would it have been like a month yet?
Uh,
Nope.
no,
I've been
not quite.
keeping track.
How long have we been traveling together?
This is day 21.
We've been together for like 3 weeks. That's almost a month.
yeah, there's still a lot we don't know about him, you know? I think you're reading too much into it.
Yeah, I read too much into everything.
I know, and that's maybe something to at least look at. You're just reading way too deep into it. I don't think he doesn't like you. I think he likes you just fine.
I don't think he does. He never talks to me unless I talk to him.
I'll tell you
He
what.
doesn't like the fact that I don't like the fact that he lost our papers.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of an issue.
I mean, it's kind of a big issue. Without them, we don't get paid.
Yeah. But
Without
still,
them, we don't have help traveling from place to place. You know.
my point stands. I think you're just reading way too deep into it. I'm sure he likes you just fine. It's just how he is. He's more
I don't think he does.
standoffish.
I don't think he does. I think if he did, then he would have, like, you know, at least attempted to approach me more than, like, at any point for a casual conversation.
We'll wait and see.
We'll see you be wrong, maybe.
I hope not. I hope he likes you. I like you.
Also, one more thing. I'm just gonna, like, gently, like, clap you on the back of the head. What are you doing? You got yourself hit so many times.
Better me than you.
But I'm perfectly sturdy. Look at this, and I like flex.
Look at those guns.
and it's a little 4'8", half dwarf stockiness, and not actually a lot of strength.
I just worry about you is all.
Why?
Because I care about you.
Careful, you start talking like that, I might think you like me or something.
We wouldn't want that now, would we?
No. We wouldn't. Are you okay?
Just a little shaken up, but I'll recover.
I mostly mean about your dad.
I wonder if he made it out alright.
Do you want him to have?
Of course, he's my dad.
I'm sure he did.
I
I mean,
hope so.
we didn't see him inside, so that means he had to have gotten outside somehow. And I don't think the people outside were really hurt that much.
That's my hope. He's resourceful. I'm sure he figured something out. Whenever I get a chance, I'll send sending to him.
If he's anything like you, then he's a bit of a cockroach.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Didn't you get one of those scrolls?
Yeah,
Why don't you use that to talk to him?
I will when I'm ready. And preferably with alcohol in my veins.
I'm just gonna give you a big hug.
I'll give you one too.
I'm here if you need me, buddy.
I appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot.
Because you don't have any other friends?
What are you talking about? I got Bone Daddy.
No, you don't.
Oh, never mind. He heard me.
It's canon. Shalashar can understand the thief's can't sound of Bone Daddy.
He's figured us out.
He's onto us. He's cracked the code.
My favorite thing is that you're also talking in Elvish, and I speak Elvish, so I just like hear half the conversation. Just intuit fucking part of it.
And you still figuring out like a couple of things, like Bone Daddy, because we make the joke often enough.
I just like to think it's like almost entirely in Japanese, and then occasionally hear Bone Daddy. Just plain, clear English. It's just like,
Yep. Pretty much. And I think that's
Alright, so besides that, you guys can retire for the night, use your hit dice to heal, if you so wish.
Yes.
And then we'll get on to the last day of travel here. Unless there's anything else you guys would like to make me aware of.
I'm pretty much going to spend my time a little bit more friendly with the crew, just trying to make sure that they're all taken care of. If there's anything that can help with them to kind of like ease their nerves as we're going.
Yeah, I mean, especially since you helped Yoi, he's a lot more talkative with you. Make a general charisma check.
Do I have to? Can I just flex a bit?
you cannot intimidate people into being your friend.
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
I have -1.
Yui pretty much just goes, I like that you don't talk much. It's a nice break. And you guys, like, spend a lot of time just sitting in silence.
I can deal with that.
You know, you're, like, working on your thing. He's just, like, next to you. And he's, like, just, like, flipping through a couple of whirling pages on a journal.
Solid friendship right there. That's what that is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Beth, Christopher, and Mara, they seem like they have their own weird little dynamic going on, but you're unable to really glean much into that. And besides that, we get to the last day of travel. And the last day of travel, thanks to your guys' rolls, it also just goes through uneventful. At some point, Rick does get a fish. Maybe it was the beaver. Maybe not. He'll never know. And you guys do have a lovely fish probably salmon, like a nice, lovely. I won't say lovely, but it is a salmon lunch instead of your usual rations, which you guys do need to mark off. 3 days worth of rations.
Does he look super excited when he catches a fish for us?
A little bit, you know, but he plays it cool. He plays it cool.
He plays it cool, but he's excited.
Yeah. You know, he's a cool operator.
Kid.
So just make sure you mark off those rations there, everyone except for Shalsha, because you suck. And you guys will be arriving in Black Hollow. Black Hollow itself, as you guys kind of like come over the last bend, it comes into view. This town, its biggest thing is it has a massive tree. We're talking like 200 feet tall, with a canopy that covers half of the city. Most of this tree is burnt from the bottom up, probably about halfway up. Then it finally gets back into like living actual tree. Roll a history check if any of you care.
I do. I care a lot.
Why not? I got a -1 to history, but we'll see. Oh, that was
18.
I got a 7. That was almost a nat 20.
Almost, but
Another
not
18.
Shalsha, did you roll?
I got a 9.
9? Alright. So, the first ones that everyone would kind of get, you understand that it is called Black Hollow because of the fact that this tree was a very well-maintained wood elf home. When Sigwolf first came forward, there was a war at some point, and a bunch of this forest went up in flames during this war. Eventually, the elves agreed to give them their land, and they literally left their home tree. They fucked off. Now there's a circle of druids that work to keep this tree alive. That's why it looks burnt from the bottom up. And there's a circle of druids that live just to maintain this tree and keep it as healthy as they can. Everyone else above it, you would understand, like, there's a treaty, in which case it's said that, like, every building within Black Hollow is made out of burnt timber as a remembrance of this event. So pretty much every single building is built with blackened wood. That's its biggest connotations towards history. Besides that, it is also the capital now, the unofficial capital of the humans here on Shar, right? This is where Sigwolf has crossed over. You guys are brought in, and you're kind of, you know, coming down through this river, and this river, you know, it does let out to the ocean, as all rivers do. There's a couple of things you notice. As I said, all of the buildings here are black. The harbor is definitely the busiest thing. There's one thing that sticks out among pretty much anything else here. There's a bunch of ships moored. There's, you know, a lot of things here harbored. I don't know why I closed my notes, but I did. So let me just bring this up so I don't mess this name up. I'm a professional. Can you tell?
I was just about to say, you're so professional. It's amazing.
Thank you. So there is a very, very large Sigwolf worship mode. This thing is like 2 decks high, stacked with cannons. It dwarfs everything else in the harbor, and it has also the other harbors next to it are just blank. They are not letting any other ships next to it, as well as you guys can make out what seems to be quite a few heavily armed individuals. When you look at like the town's guard here, most of the guards here, they wear like leather and chainmail. They have black tabards with a tree on it, and most of them have like bearded axes and shields. There's also quite a few people here that are wearing like heavier armor. You have scale mail. There's also a couple of people with like full plate, big peldrons with like actual insignias of some sort of office. And there's like at least 3 people here with swords that are very unusual. We're talking long swords that are like tinted blue for some reason. And it seems like they have like taken over a big section of this harbor. And you guys kind of get brought in on this barge, and you guys are like at the edge of this harbor space as you guys are like being unloaded. You know, Rick saying his goodbyes. Like, well, thank you for traveling. Thank you for keeping us safe. I would say hope to see you again, but we probably won't be leaving anytime soon. But, you know, if you want to catch a ride back to Fapon, you know, about 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're not going back there.
Safe travels.
Once we started to get within range of within sight of this, I'd pull Arod inside and say, "Hey, I'm gonna run off and look for somebody when we get there. Can you get us a room at an inn? Let me know which one."
Yeah, I got you covered.
Okay. I'll be off real quick when we get there. So you know how to reach me. And I'm gonna give you a quick peck on the cheek, and as soon as we hit the docks, like even before the ship has totally finished tying down, I'm gonna hop off the boat.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna try to like sneakily hop off.
Alright.
As we're kind of saying our goodbyes, I'm just gonna lean into Yuri. Don't misplace that eye now, yeah?
I wouldn't dream of it. I'm like, give you a clap, but it's like not quite on your shoulder, it's like on your elbow. Where are you running off to, Assie?
Okay, first things first, I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for flame symbols, specifically anything with that.
I just need to know where you're going so I can wrangle everyone else, and then I'll go off in order.
I am also going to look for whoever it is that Matthias wants us to check in with here.
Okay, you got it. Cole, Arod, Chalasha, what are you guys doing when you land?
Seeing that big warship at the galley, I want to kind of stand at the dock and wave someone down.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything that I should be made aware of?
Looking for an inn.
Looking for an inn, alright. Cole?
I'll go with A-Rod so I know where we're staying.
Alright, in that case, I want to start with Shalasho because his is the easiest as everyone else is scattering and he's just putting his hand up, right? Alright, someone will approach you. Seems to be a human. He has, you know, he mostly comes over to talk to Rick, but he sees you, like, put your hand up and he kind of, like, regards you as he's just writing down a couple of notes as to, like, who showed up and who's getting on and off the boat. And he just kind of, like, cocks his eyebrow and he's like, can I help you?
Are you from Sigwolf by chance?
Well,
I'm not super familiar.
Not like myself, but my family is. Why?
We actually were just taking the barge down the river and we encountered a body that was floating in the water. It has 2 tattoos, a pair of oars, and then one that has a flame or a spark on it. And I thought it might be of the flame. And I was hoping to kind of get directions as to what we can do to return the body or any, like, funeral rites.
Oh. Well, a bit unusual. I'll make a note of that and I'll get back. We'll probably get someone over here to check on it. Anything else I can help you with, Sola?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me know.
And I'll just, like, pick up the body in the tarp and I'll just kind of carry it over towards him, and I'll just be like, this is it.
Alright. He'll, like, nod to you and finishes taking down his notes and he's gonna continue down his way. What would you like to do next? Just kind of wait and see what happens?
I'll probably head off to, I'll make sure that my pin is affixed to my cloak, and then I'll go looking for the office that we're supposed to kind of pick up our armor and payment and everything.
Alright. In that case, I'm going to jump over to A-Rod and Cole next, as you guys are looking for an inn. There are a couple you can go to. There's one close to the harbor. Then there's other ones deeper in. Is there any sort of thing you're looking in this establishment, or do you want me to just name a couple and you let me know what you're most interested in?
For a nice Look for a nice bar in there.
A nice bar. If you want something rowdier, then the one close to the harbor would probably be the one.
That's the one I'll go for then.
It's just called Spoke Me Timbers.
Spark Me Timbers?
Spoke Me Timbers. And it is like the most godly, like, pirate-themed bar that you can imagine.
Did you say gaudy or godly?
Gaudy.
Okay, I was wondering how God and pirates went
know,
together.
Everyone is like, you get in there and like people are drunk at this point already. And it is like,
My kind of place.
2 p.m. sort of thing. There's already like outside like 3 people that have been thrown out and they've just like moved up to like lean against the side of the building to just keep drinking. And while they're out there, the barmaid is still serving them.
You can't go.
They give good tips. What can she say?
Yeah.
I'll walk up to the front of the bar.
Alright, there's a very, like, tall, very broad gentleman, shaved head, and it looks like as well as his beard, and he's, like, braided it down. He almost looks like half dwarf, with just how thick and muscular this guy is.
You said the name of this place was Spark Me Timbers?
Yes, Spoke Me Timbers.
Okay.
Like, Shiver Me Timbers, but...
Yeah.
But Sparky.
Spark. Alright. I'm looking for some rooms. Any available?
Yeah, we got a couple. He's already, like, pouring ale as you're saying this.
Oh, yes. This is definitely my kind of bar.
Room's free, as long as you drink at least a silver.
Ding! I'll flick silver over to him. That is not a problem.
Fantastic. How many rooms you need?
I don't know. How many rooms do you think, Core? 2?
3? 2 or 3?
We'll take 2. I'm buying.
If you drink up to a gold, we upgrade the rooms.
Ding! Flick over a goal.
Fantastic.
I've had a rough day.
He's gonna put on the desk. He puts down like 3 keys, and then he also puts down what seems to be this little badge. And he's like, you just wear that, and then they'll be able to keep your tab. And just very small badge and just has a number on it.
You got it. And then I'll use my earring to communicate with Assy. We're at a place called Spark Me Timbers by the harbor. Good drinks.
I'm gonna reply back real quick. Of course, that's what you pick.
Alright. Assy, you're making your way through town.
Yeah.
Make a religion check for me, just so that I know how well you understand the flame.
Cool. 4.
You don't really know much, but you can guess, like, all of those heavily armored people on the dock are probably flame. You couldn't tell what ranks they are, but you could tell these guys, like, they're heavily armored. A bunch of them have, like, like, their pauldrons and stuff. They're, like, bright silver, but they're all trimmed in, like, reds, blues, very bright colors, like the colors you would see in a fire. And you're like, that's probably the flame.
Yeah. Like, I can't tell too much more than that, so I just kind of, like...
Yeah.
I give up after a minute. I was like, I don't freaking know what I'm looking for or what I'm even looking at, so, like, fuck it.
But then, you guys...
I have taken out my badge, and I'm trying to, like, weave my way through town, like, super fucking quickly.
Yeah. But eventually you and Shalashar will end up, at, for lack of a better word, the embassy, which is where you guys usually go to collect your money.
I imagine I would have ended up there quite a bit before him.
Not quite a bit, but a little bit more.
Well, I think I would have, because he said goodbye to people on the boat. I did not.
I get that. You're having a conversation, but at the same time, he also has an ungodly perception, which will just let him navigate a city. I like Mach 5 compared to you. So you do get there ahead of time, but you're doing like this roundabout way, as you said. Meanwhile, he's like, I know where I'm going, right? So you do get there ahead of time, but you get there and then you're going to need to wait once I get through this description, which we're about to get to. As you arrive at this embassy, this one is a lot more heavily guarded than any of the others. On the outside, you have already quite a few of the Black Timber Guard, which are the guards of the city and their tabards. But then there's also quite a few people that are wearing like heavier armor. One of them you would guess probably belongs to the Flame, but then there's also 3 other people. On the front door alone, there is 6 armed people. And when you arrive, they pretty much go, what's your business?
What do you want?
I'm here on business with for Matthias Millsworn.
Papers?
Delphi, reach back underneath I've got like a bit of a cloak. I reach underneath it and I pull him out, making it look like I pulled him out of a back pocket, but I just pull him out of pocket space.
Okay. Looks like it checks out. What's your business?
Just checking in.
Okay. Tell you what. You wait here, and I'll send someone in.
If that's how you do it here.
That is how we do it here. Step back.
Okay.
Then he's just gonna like take your papers and he's gonna walk in. Shalashar. Anything you want to make me aware of as you're walking through town?
Nothing specific. I just want to make sure that like my pin is on the front of my cloak, and then just kind of gunning for it.
All right. Oddly enough, like you are getting like clocked. You know because of your perception, like there are people taking interest in you just due to like what you're wearing and stuff like that.
Yep.
A couple of other like just like little things you notice along this town because it's just fun to use your perception for this. As I described, most of the buildings are here black. The biggest material is definitely wood and a bit of stone. There's also a lot more banners. Millscout, for instance, it had like the blue roofs and stuff like that. This one has the black buildings. They also have a lot more like flame sort of things, right? There's like banners on like every single block. It's like the equivalent of like an American flag, but they have something from Sigwolf or something from the Flame. There's also 3 prominent statues. As you kind of go through this town, you have the Harbor District, then you get into another one, and then you finally get up to the tree, and then there's another one that just kind of like branches off to the side. Besides the tree, the other 3 districts have their own statues. The first statue is actually to someone named Tora Darkbane, who is supposed to be a war hero. There's another one which depicts like the first Jarl, and then the one closest to the outskirts of the town is like for a prophet of the flame. If you ever want more information about those, feel free to ask, but those are just, the 3 main centerpieces in each of these districts. Eventually, though, you do make your way to the place. Asi, you have now been standing outside for almost 10 minutes when Shalashal comes up to you.
Are we waiting outside for something?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to do this myself the first time around.
I'm starting to think you're embarrassed to be seen with me.
Thought that you didn't like me.
I have no problem with you.
Well, you sure don't act like it.
Is there something spurring us on?
Spelling what on?
Your thoughts.
The fact that twice within 24 hours I offered you help and both times you smacked my hand away rudely?
I wouldn't consider it rude, but I understand. Look, it's not the fact I don't like you. I've been on my own for a long time. I don't know how to interact with people. Basically, the only friends was the voice inside my head.
I'm going to pull off a ring of twisted metal with a couple of gemstones, and I'm going to flick it at you. Take a look at that. See the settings in it?
Mm-hmm.
The way the gems are inset within the weaving itself? My big brother, well, one of my big brothers taught me to do that. If he hadn't taught me, I never would have figured it out myself. You don't get better by doing things by yourself. You get better by learning from what other people have done before you and doing what they did better.
As you're
That's
having
why
this
I'm
conversation,
talking
someone just kind of like, "Hey, cut it out! No talking in line. Split up.
We're together.
Split up."
I guess we'll talk about this later. And
I guess so.
I'll stand like 10 feet over.
Another 5 minutes pass, and then finally the guy comes back with the paperwork, and he has a bag with him, and he just passes you the paper, and he also passes you a bag of coins.
And this is for all of the members of our group?
I don't fucking know. It's the allowance. Told that you had a pension for showing up here.
Very well. Was there anything you would want us to investigate while we're here?
Investigate. We handle our own business here.
Very well. There is a Darius Oarsman in this town, no?
Who's asking, Dwelf?
I am. We found a body along the way. He had a tattoo of the Oarsman. And I'm going to quickly show him the sketch that I had made of the tattoo.
That's one of them.
In the river, drowned with a rat shoved in his mouth.
I'm just gonna speak up a little. I left his body with the big galley ship on the dock with one of the gentlemen there.
Probably best you did that then. Well, thanks for letting me know. As I said, we'll be dealing with it.
Very well. Good luck with your investigation then. If there's any other way we can help you, please let us know.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted.
Sir, one quick thing. I was told that there are a set of plate armor would be arriving from Red Bay. It may have been passed along by Zephyrius.
Do I look like your secretary?
No, but
No? Then fuck off.
Come on.
Go!
I'm gonna grab your arm if you let me and try to walk you away.
as we walk away,
The people here are even pricklier than you.
I love xenophobia. Love it. You don't see this kind of thing in Yun. Everyone's some sort of bottom feed or another.
I've never been to Yun. Can't say I have a real desire to visit it.
Alright.
Well, I heard it's all monsters and undead.
So,
Sometimes the monsters are undead.
as you guys are walking through town,
Speaking
we
from
are coming
personal
to
experience,
the end of this session. But there are a couple of other things that I just want to make you guys aware of. There are cryostones still in this town, so you're able to pick up a little bit of the news as to what is going on. I will...
can we get that at the beginning of next session?
We could. I'm just going to quickly drop one or two things here, just so then you guys have a little bit of things to think about, but we will be ending it here. But the main thing that is being repeated over the cryostones is there was 3 mortars last night as well. Sounds like it is the rats. There has also been a ongoing trial at this point for murders earlier in the week, which has now brought the death count for the week up to 10. There's apparently a large contingency of orcs that are trying to get in, and they're saying, do not let these people in. If you see, and they give like a description of 10 different people, report them immediately. And the last thing is that it is saying that the Shadow's Bane, the ship is here, and it has come with 12 paladins that are going to be conducting an investigation. If you have anything of relevance, please approach them and talk to them. Besides that, may the flame be with you, and may, we keep darkness at bay. And that is where we will be ending today's session. So thank you guys for joining, and we will pick this up next week. Bye-bye.